Okay, boys, whenever we're ready.
Hello. Good evening and welcome back, gentlemen, to Wrong Side of the Wall, Season 1 Tossed Ashore. Tonight is Episode 3, The Loot of a Lifetime. And at the end of tonight's session, we will be at the 50% mark for Season 1, which is pretty astounding. But before we get into tonight's session, we got a lot to cover. We got a lot of cool stuff coming. The story is just heating up, I feel. So, but before we get to that, Thomas, you have volunteered to give us our recap. So I will pass the mic, as it were, over to you.
Thank you. I'm Thomas. I'll be doing your recap for tonight, gentlemen. Last week, we began our session by hearing a little bit from each of the characters about sort of what their call to piracy was, how they met the Selene, things like that. So we started off that with Eagle, where we learned that Eagle spent his formative years already hulking, sort of just banditing around, fighting where he could, looking for battle after battle. And after a chance, excuse me, after a chance voyage on the sea that nearly went disastrously, he discovered that the battle he wants to follow through with is the fight against nature, survival on the sea. We also learned that he met the crew of the Selene in a raucous bar brawl, in which he saved the life of someone. None of the characters were named. Whether or not you want your characters to have been in that brawl is up to you, the viewers, my friends. But after weathering that fight together, he ended up falling in with the Selene and stayed with them ever since. We learned that Jackdaw Fry was not originally a pirate or intending to be a pirate. He actually studied in a proper school to be a doctor until he was eventually tapped by the crown and offered a career where he could want for nothing except anything interesting at all. So he turned to drugs, and one day he came into work stoned as a quarry and decided to amputate a foot that did not need amputation. He tried to flee before being sent to the stocks, but got caught anyways and went to the stocks. And after eventually being let free from the stocks, humiliated and embarrassed, he hit the bottle and the drug, the pile, I guess, since it's cocaine, harder, until eventually he met, after a night of drugs, rum, and a long walk on a short pier, he met a bunch of the crew of the Selene and gave up a trumped-up resume to them, saying that he was the greatest doctor in the land and definitely hadn't done anything embarrassing in his career. And he didn't realize that they were all pirates until he was already their doctor and out in open water. Reinhardt, he actually became, he had a little dinner with Hale. His flashback was sort of told in a conversation over dinner. He admitted to having gone to the Duelist Academy as well as being in the Navy for a moment, until he met Caligrade Hale, who immediately realized that Reinhardt was a young lad looking to get somewhere in the world. Oddly enough, Hale was also looking to get somewhere and decided to do a mutiny on Reinhardt's ship, claiming it as his own and making Reinhardt his de facto first mate right then and there. So the life of piracy and his... whether or not that ship was the Selene, I'm not sure was actually covered. But I think it was, judging by the nods of some of the other people in the video there. So they stole the Selene straight out of... We'll get to the rest of that when we get to Captain Hale's recap. And that is how Reinhardt became the first mate and general guy who stabs people for Caligrade Hale. And Caligrade Hale was, before he was captain, he was actually brigadier general, and he in the army, not the navy, of the Avalonian military, and he commanded a company of Avalonian mages in the war for many years. He was ordered to capture a city and to kill every man, woman, and child in the city and burn it to the ground as a message. He defied that order, not only because he was morally opposed, but because it was a, quote, stupid order, and he was of the opinion that it would make the campaign harder. Who surrenders to a force that takes no prisoners? He managed to escape from the cell they sent him to, but was unable to return home. And having brought together the small fortune he had amassed working for the military of Avalon. He took that fortune, went down to the shipyard, and bought a ship. Just kidding. He stole a ship, the Selene, as it turns out, and hired some lads, Reinhardt being one of them, and took the heck off to be a pirate. From there, we learned a little bit about what the captain thinks of all of his crew. He likes them all because they're vicious. In the case of Reinhardt, he likes Fry because Fry's better than Lawrence at putting people together. Lawrence being the carpenter of the ship, and he likes Jormungandr because Jormungandr tends to fill in the gaps and do what the others can't. Let's see. After we go through all of the flashbacks and the learning session about our friends, the captain calls an officer meeting to brief us on the big one, as he so calls it. Serrano was also invited to this meeting, despite not being an officer. And in this meeting, we were told that there is a treasure ship full of gold with escorts. But some intel has been brought to light that the escorts will be dropped for a day between one port and another. So there will be about a 24-hour period of time where this ship will be not undefended, but much more lightly defended. That said, there will likely be mages, and there will also likely be a spotter on the ship. So we'll need to strike fast and hard to win the day. After a little bit of talk about what was going to go on with the big one, the rest of the officers leave. Serrano and the captain share a drink, and the captain starts asking Andre for information about his world. He was curious about if there was infrastructure for food, water, and after some general responses, Hale asked a little bit more about Andre's personal situation. And the captain lets Andre know he has a couple of offers for him. The first one being to be marooned on an island with enough provisions to set up a camp or system until someone would potentially, hopefully, pick him up as a castaway. And the second option is to run with this crew until he has the money to hire some sorcerers, to which Hale has some useful connections, to find him a way back to his world or some other. Serrano chose option number 2 with the thought that he's not sure he was a hero before anyhow, so falling in with pirates couldn't be the worst. And the captain reveals that the drink that he gave to Serrano was dosed with wolfsbane, and transforming for the next few hours would not be a great idea. Good to know the captain always has some cards kept close to the chest.
Yeah, that's great.
After that, everyone goes about their usual day on the ship. When Eagle comes across a strange bird, a white bird of prey, a seabird, but he has a lot of the makings of a bird of prey. Nothing like Eagle's ever seen on the open sea before, despite a decade-long, at least, career. And this bird was looking right at him, like registering him as a person, which is kind of weird. And it didn't get afraid when he got closer. Before he could do anything further to capture or learn about the bird, storm cloud flew in out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere, and the ship became buffeted and attacked by a huge storm. After everyone ran around for a little while trying to get the sails down or the trysail up to weather the storm, bailing water, anything they could really do to keep the ship even afloat, the captain realizes that something strange is going on, and he pulls out his magical pistol and he shoots the storm cloud right out of the goddamn sky like a boss. Yeah. But not before being very nearly struck by lightning and thrown several feet across the deck. A fire burst out, and everyone save Eagle began to put that out and tend to the wounded, whereas Eagle kept looking for the weird bird, which had mysteriously disappeared into the ether, and not in the way you would expect right before a storm breaks out. He was just gone. That's right. The captain told everyone they did a great job, especially Serrano, considering how new he is to the sailor's life. And before they continue on their journey, Captain Hale and Eagle have a quiet chat about the strange bird and how there might be a little something more to that. And I think that covers just about everything for last week on Tossed Ashore.
Thank you, Thomas. That was very thorough. I really appreciate it.
Could have been more thorough.
All right. Eagle's gonna fucking crush you. You, Christian, the player.
Yeah, he's gonna reach out of the screen.
True, he did forget to mention that.
Yeah, that's right. Christian's now on the wrong side of the wall.
The
I
very,
thought
very
his hand
wrong
was gonna
side of the
come through
wall.
the screen.
He's gonna grab you like Jamiroquai. Whoa!
Been nice knowing you, Christian.
Did I miss anything important, or do we think?
No, I
that'll-
think, like I said, that was very thorough. I think
You missed
hit all the
missed
beats.
Andre's backstory, which you can hear.
Yeah.
But first you need the
Do a video
backstory
hosting
to
service
that
near you.
backstory.
Yeah. First you need. Yeah. Anyways, it's turtles all the way down. But thank you, Thomas. That was very thorough. And we're going to jump in now to session 3, the loot of a lifetime. So as I posted to you earlier in Discord, the setting here, we sort of fast forward a little bit. It's the day of the hit. So the big job is going down tonight. You're gonna hit this ship at nighttime, all of a sudden, to the cover of darkness. For what good that is, it seems obvious now that the ship knows you're coming, or someone knows you're coming, because that storm cloud did not seem natural. Neither did that bird. But for whatever it's worth, you're gonna hit in the cover of darkness. So right now it's the afternoon before the big job, and the crew is busy putting their last preparations in order, getting the cannonballs set up and arming everyone and making sure everyone has, is ready to go and everything's in place. And so, in amongst that, we will have a chance for a couple of conversations, before that happens. And the conversation can be about whatever you want, but it's in the context of we're just a few hours away from this big job. So, as I mentioned in the Discord, it's Hale and Teague, Jormungson and Fry, and Reinhardt and Serrano. Now, my dad unfortunately could not actually join us physically for the session, at least for now. He might be on later on, but wasn't able to join us here.
He joins us in spirit.
He joins us in the spirit. Him and Chris were gracious enough to actually record their conversation ahead of time.
Yeah!
So we're going to kick things off with our conversation between Captain Hale and Ambrose Teague, played by my dad. We're going to get going on that. And then following that conversation, we will switch over to Jormungson and Fry for a second. So, right. So I'm going to play this, and here we go.
Mr. Teague, come in.
Captain, you wanted to see me?
Aye, it's about your animal.
What did you want to know about Ulysses?
Not so much know, Mr. Teague, but more warn. See, it seems your owl's been leaving little presents for the crew in their food bowls, rat skins and bones and the like. Might Mr. Teague, come in.
Well, it'd be a lot more unappetizing. You wanted to see me.
Aye, be that as it may, Mr. Teague. Either way, the crew has let me know that the next time they find such a surprise, owl's going to be on the menu.
You can't eat Ulysses, Captain. He's the ship's mascot.
Be that as it may, Mr. Teague. That won't be enough to keep the crew's hands off his drumsticks if he continues to be a nuisance.
Captain, I'll see that he cleans up better after himself.
At that very moment, the owl spies a small rat running across the cabin, launches himself from Teague's shoulder, and picks up the rat, crushes its back, and flings the dead rat up and swallows it whole, and gracefully lands back on Teague's shoulder. Captain Hale narrows his eyes as the owl coughs up a few bones.
We'll see. Dismissed.
Nice. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
That was beautiful.
Love it.
We just meet in.
So Dad punked me because he told me the owl's name was Ulysses last week, and it just completely went over my head. I'm like, oh, Ulysses, okay, that's a nice name for an owl. And it was only tonight when they went to do the recording, I was like, wait.
Why does Ulysses sound so familiar?
And I told Dad, I'm like, you did that on purpose, right? And without replying, he just gave me the biggest grin I've ever seen him do. So it was beautiful. Anyways, yeah.
I love that.
So
I have heard more R's In that one conversation, than the entire brevity of the last 2 episodes.
Antique's French. He really rolls his R's.
That's right. He's got his trigger word down. Anyway,
It's
so
like
thank
Muppet
you.
Treasure Island up in there.
Thank you so much to Robert Kiefer for cameoing once again for us. Really enjoyed that. It was a very fun scene. And a personal request from him. So we're now going to scene wipe to Fry and Jormungson. And let me ask you, gentlemen, given the context of this conversation, what is it that the two of you would be going about the ship doing just before an operation like this?
I actually think that so this conversation would be started by Eagle. He would try and find a time where both of them had a spare moment and try and find like a private place below decks to have a quick conversation with
Right.
Fry. So yeah, Eagle would find a nice little shadowy corner where they could have a chat, pull Fry aside, and Fry, how are you feeling about the big one?
Sorry, I didn't get my trigger word in today.
It's not going to be anything. It's going to be real easy. Captain always knows what he's doing.
Right. I get the feeling that this one's going to be, well, he's calling it the big one for a reason. I don't know if this crew's done anything quite as high scale as this. If there really is a company of mages on that ship, we can't afford any slip-ups.
How many mages are not? Sorcery ain't going to do anything bad to you. I mean, sure, fine. It exists, whatever. If you don't think it's going to affect you, it's not going to affect you. Keep that in mind.
I don't think that's how it works, but I'll keep it in mind. Just make sure you go easy on the... We need you sharp for this one. Try and go easy on the sauce.
I think what I'm going to do is, a bit before we hit the ship, or whatever, I'm going to have a nip before that. I'm not going to touch any sauce until we're back on dry land, or at least back on dry, well, deck. After the job's done. But in order to make sure that I don't end up a bleeding mess of a pulp like any of the men that the werewolf threw in the ground the other day, you've got to stay sharper than me.
Oh, I'm more ready than I've ever been, Fry. And if you promise to take it a little easy on this one, I know you need a little bit to get into gear. But if you take it easy on this one, hell, first bottle when we hit port's on me. And he claps just a gargantuan hand across like both shoulder blades at the same time.
Right.
The promise of alcohol or any illicit substance, of course, is going to bring a bright smile and look towards Jacked Off Fry's face.
All right. Quick nip before we hit the boat. Nothing till we get back to deck and you buy the first bottle and I don't die, and ideally none of us do. Yeah, I think I can swing that one. That's like a Tuesday.
I'm not familiar with that day. A Tuesday. Eagle just shakes his head a little. All right, well, if things hit the fan, just stick to me. I'll keep you safe. To doctor another day.
Get injured? Well, hopefully I'm not going to have to cut something off in the middle of battle, but hell, that'll be quite a spectacle, won't it? You'll be coming in yelling, bleeding, and making everybody else bleed even more.
right, Fry. We're ready for the big one.
So have a
And
bee.
Eagle tramps off to wherever he has to go count something next.
Nice.
Okay. Oh shit. All right. Don't panic. Don't worry about it. You're fine. You're good for a couple hours without any more. You'll do okay.
And you start trailing off as this scene begins to end as he's talking to himself, psyching himself up for the
Right, psyching himself
concept
up,
of,
yeah.
oh man, like an hour without being high.
Right. Yeah, you can't smoke that whole pack of cigarettes or whatever, the equivalent. Yeah.
I
Interesting.
mean, for
Talk
him, it
himself
gives him
up.
the stability. It gives him the know-how and wherewithal to do this stuff that he does. So,
Mhm. Very cool. All right, Reinhardt and Serrano. I imagine this scene is maybe a bit more odd, perhaps, for one of you, because you probably wouldn't be naturally working together to do preparation, whatever that might look like. But in what scenario might the two of you come across each other in the efforts of preparation?
I think thus far, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kirk, but Reinhardt would have probably stayed as far away from the Wolfman as possible up until now, given his distaste towards magic things.
Well, not necessarily completely avoiding, but more so like, I got something to do, and moves away.
Right.
And then
Right.
you come over there, oh no, I got something else to do.
Right.
Um,
He always finds a reason why he can be somewhere else.
Hmm.
Yeah. Right.
I think at one moment where you're sort of focused on a job that you're doing and a little bit cornered, Andre sort of takes the opportunity to sort of
Pink
get in a
Panther
position
style.
where you can't really get away that easy. And he's like, Mr. Reinhardt,
Yeah.
I know we have a big loot score, whatever you call it, coming. But you're the best fighter, I would assume, here. I have a question.
Sure, kid. Get to your point.
Do you get like freaked out before something like this?
Can you like, be a little more specific? Because are you talking freaked out, like excited? Are you talking freaked out, kind of scared? Are you talking freaked out, like counting how many heads I'm gonna have to cut off before the captain approves of what I'm doing?
I guess any of those would somewhat answer my question.
Why are you asking?
Because I'm new to all of this. This is crazy. This is pirate stuff. I don't do this.
Pirate stuff. Oh, I love how you put that.
Trust me, it's very different from what I'm used to.
No, this. Yeah, I don't know. Pirate stuff, it's. Never really thought about it too much, but what is it that you're used to?
School and home.
Okay, so you're quite the sheltered boy then.
Yes.
You know, I left home when I was, I don't know, like 10, something like that. I don't even care. Yeah, been on the up and up ever since, and been on the ship for as long as I can remember. So, like, what's your role gonna be in this?
You would know better than I would.
Do I know? Now, you see what I'm doing here? I'm counting this absolute complete bullshit that the captain holds so dear to face against these false pretenders that claim they can do magic. These are apparently charms and other riffraff that's supposed to protect us.
Okay.
And then you come along. And you're some dog man hybrid thing. What even are you? What are you, some sort of supernatural beast? Are you just a human that just gets really furry sometimes? Like what are you?
I mean, I'm just a werewolf.
What is that? Just a werewolf, exactly.
It's I can lose myself to rage if I'm not careful. I don't know. It's pretty freaky stuff. I get very big and hairy. And then things get very hairy.
See, you may be wondering why I've been avoiding you, and the question really isn't that I've been avoiding you. It's just been trying to determine whether I kill you first or get answers first. And against my better judgment, especially because the captain's kind of holding in some sort of praise or whatever it is. I don't care what it is, as long as the captain has your back, that's fine. But I've been trying to figure out. I've been trying to place you. Been trying to sort of what the hell you actually are. Is it some sort of natural process? Can you do it by will? Like, do you get some sort of supernatural strength when you transform, or is this just you all the time?
I'm both forms, Mr. Reinhardt. It's still me. I don't change who I am. My body gets bigger. It's still me. I don't know what you're afraid of.
It's not that I'm afraid of you. It's just that I need to know what you're capable of.
I wouldn't try to kill me if I was you, Mr. Reinhardt.
Is that a challenge, boy?
No, it really isn't.
All right, then. It's good to hear some confidence come out of you for a change. But look, I need to finish up here. When we get there, you need to do your part. Whatever the case may be, whatever you are, you can still bleed, yes?
Of course.
Then perhaps you're human enough. So, when we get there, I need you to do what you do. Cover our backs and take out people that, for lack of a better word, shouldn't exist in our world.
Whatever you say.
Now, if you haven't had a drink in a while, I heard that the doctor's got some new concoction brewing up. Something for the battle, so why don't you go take a swig?
Sure, yeah. I totally get it. Yep. And he, scampers off quite quickly.
Does he have a tail between his legs?
Only a metaphorical one. That was great. That was a really good scene. Thank you, gentlemen. I really enjoyed that.
Fucking magic.
Yeah. That was a really good conversation. Learned a lot about
Running
both of
theme.
you.
Fucking
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah, exactly. So the afternoon disappears in a flash as the crew and its officers continue prepping for the night ahead, and those who need psyching up psych themselves up. Those who are absolutely ready to go are absolutely ready to go. And soon, the Selene makes. Pardon me. The Selene sights its quarry. Quarry would be something else. The Selene sights its quarry and begins to close the distance between the two vessels. As Hale has planned out and estimated, they've managed to catch the ship in between escorts. And as far as the lookout can see, there are no other ships nearby. This is the time to strike. And they'll have only a few hours to do it before this other ship potentially gets off some kind of message or signal or whatever, however that might look like to another ship. So remember that obviously there's no there's obviously no regular signaling things, but signal flags and things like that would exist, and they could fly things like that.
Another reason why we're approaching in night.
Exactly.
Quick,
Much harder to make that out.
question before we try to take the ship. Last week you said we'd cover healing at the top of this week.
Yes, absolutely.
With
And that
Dr.
is-
Fry doing, hopefully, a little bit of work on us to perhaps remedy some dramatic wounds.
Yes.
So I remember I yelled Eagle was first.
And minor wounds?
Everyone heals one minor
One
wound.
what? Minor wound. Okay.
Yeah. And
So what
then
if you have a dramatic wound? Does
if
that...
we have a
it
dramatic
drags you below
wound, then
that?
Dr. Fry needs so if you have a dramatic wound, you can't clear that without medical attention. So if you have a minor wound above it, like if you have a minor, like if you can clear one minor wound that's below the dramatic wound, but the dramatic wound doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
So if you're at 5, you go down to 4, but you still need to get rid of the dramatic wound.
exactly.
What if you took the dramatic wound directly? Do you still have 5 minor wounds plus a dramatic wound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Fry can
You-
heal the dramatic wound, and you'll be able to heal one minor, but you'll be still at 3 wounds or
If
whatever.
you clear
4.
a dramatic wound but still have 5 wounds,
Mhm.
does that mean you don't have any dramatic wounds, or does it automatically go back up to 5?
Like if you had,
Or to go back to
4 minor-
because you have 5. Like if you had 5, like if
you have,
you
to,
had 6.
you have to think of it. You have to think of it like this: the dramatic wounds effect persists even if that particular HP is healed away, right? So you might be patched up well enough that you can keep moving, but your wrist is still broken, or you still got a gash or whatever. That still needs to be worked on. Until that's healed, the dramatic wound is still there.
So that if you had 6 and then
So if you
1,
were at 6,
and then
if
you
were at
healed
6,
1 and then healed
you were at 5 and healed the dramatic wound, you would drop to 4.
So it automatic. Okay. It counts
I'm-
as
yeah.
one additional wound on top of that. Okay.
That makes sense.
Excellent. So everyone who has a dramatic wound, raise your hands. No, everyone who has a dramatic wound, please speak now. And I'm gonna have Richard roll to mend as many dramatic wounds as potential. In a normal situation, probably he wouldn't have time to see everybody, but it has been multiple days, so there really shouldn't be any issue there. So Richard, on your end, that is going to be wits plus scholarship.
Should we make him roll a cocaine check first?
Yeah.
That would be
Can I get a bonus?
resolve plus plus tempt.
Well, no. We will decide how sober Fry is based on his overall success. So
I will say I don't want to take the. I will be last in line because
You're
I'm
first
okay
in
with
line.
dramatic.
Mm.
No,
I
want
said
to
you were first.
We'll talk about that in character when it comes to it. Roll
Oh,
first.
who's
Okay.
okay? Yeah. So Fry, if you could please
Scholarship
go
and
ahead.
wits. Any penalties or bonuses?
Nope.
Unless
That's a
you got
48.
one.
Okay. 40.
good.
So 4 raises, one to sort of make it happen. How many people at the moment have a dramatic wound on them?
I do.
Just the one, it seems. Oh,
And
two.
Caligrade
Oh,
Hale
because
does.
Captain got hit by
Hale.
lightning.
And Hale. Okay. So you have enough raises to heal all the dramatic wounds at the moment.
Nice.
Do any additional healing on top of that, or is this only for dramatic wounds?
You have one raise left over, so you can use the last raise to heal somebody one minor wound from a player of your choice.
Hale insists that you spend the extra time on Eagle.
I don't know. I kind of want to keep my wound.
Don't
I
worry,
was
you'll
thinking.
earn some more. I have
I
a strong sense that
Alright,
you're going to earn some more today.
I do too.
All right.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, through the power of self-medication, maybe he lost one.
There you go.
But if you would, Thomas, like one gone, I will do that. But I think
No,
it makes
I
sense
will-
for Fry to drink himself in a dark corner for a night.
Yeah,
and
when
feel better.
Feeling
Fry
a
comes
lot better
around,
now.
when Fry comes around to doctor up Eagle, Eagle sort of brushes. Fry, go away. I'm fine. I don't need.
Let me just. I'm just gonna suture up these
Right.
the big ones.
All right.
You're gonna bleed
Now you've
out.
got me talking like you.
You are gonna bleed out if I don't get these closed. Let me do this, and then you can walk out.
All right, fine. Make it quick though. If that's what it's going to take to get you to fuck off while I count these.
Yeah, there you go. So that I healed myself with that last raise.
And you healed yourself with the last one. Okay, great. Cool.
I did
Alright.
have like 3rd degree burns. I think I needed it.
Yeah, that's true. So there you go. With that, Fry has done as much patching up as he can before the big moment. So like I said, the Selene has found its target. The cover of night is on your side, and the Selene quickly approaches the ship, which is a pretty big ship. Obviously, it's going to have to be pretty big to be able to haul back gold and whatever else is supposedly on this. You already know that. You do know that right now the ship is without escort, but of course you must presume that there are men on board the ship ready to defend it. As well as there's obviously been evidence that there is at least a magic user on board this ship, so you are well knowledgeable of the threat that lies ahead of you. And if you can imagine the camera sweeping across the two ships as the Selene begins to close. So I turn to you, Hale. What would be the operation here? Would you begin cannon fire to try to disable the ship's sails? Or would you get as close as possible and just board with the potential of keeping some of the surprise?
So given that we've decided that we're approaching at night, the whole point at this point will be to approach as close as possible before the alarm is raised. So we're going to try and use whatever natural obstructions are available to us. I'm going around and behind. We're going to try and draw right in line with the ship ahead of us so that there's less opportunity for those spotters to notice us. We're going to be flying with black sails and muffled oars.
Yes.
And
Right.
only
Right.
at the very last moment, when we're within range of a grapnel, do we finally light the torches and make our presence known.
Awesome. Kirk wrote a very legitimate question in the thing there about what intel do we have. Lots and little, depending on how you want to think about it. The size of the ship betrays that there's, at least 3 people on board. It's an Avalon ship. It's very clearly got its markings on it.
Here's a pertinent question. Does it look
yeah.
like a ship of the line, a combat ship, or does it look more like a cargo ship?
It looks like a converted cargo ship. It definitely is a cargo ship. It's got a couple of places where you see that they've maybe thrown in some ad hoc cannons, but this is not a warship.
It looks
certain
like it's
terms.
intended to be escorted.
Yes, definitely.
They
The
picked
Selene
that because
definitely-
of its size rather
Yeah.
than its function. Okay.
Exactly. The Selene is definitely going to be able to outmaneuver, outgun it, that kind
And
of
given
thing.
our experience with catching up to it, it seems that we're much faster than it.
Yes,
And
certainly.
we're in
It's carrying a
open
much
water.
heavier cargo.
Yeah, using the same amount of wind, we don't have any special wind that's on our offer. We're nonetheless able to
Special
gain
wind.
on it easily.
Yes.
We're
We're
not
an
near
open.
the coast at all.
Well, I mean, you're always near a coast, but I would,
Right, but-
I would say you're in open water. There isn't
I mean,
like, oh, there's land over there.
From a perspective
Gotcha.
of near.
Yeah. So
Nearer
there is
to-
there is a continent somewhere.
Yeah, naturally, but
But
you
not
get what I
within
was
sight.
angling at.
No. No.
Disappears over the horizon before you see any land.
Yes, definitely. So, and like I said, there's some sort of magic presence perhaps on the ship. Otherwise, that's about it. So at this point, then, just watch out for the waterfalls at the end of the world. Exactly. So at this point, then the ship sort of, you come sort of, what do you call that when you bring the sides of the ships next to each
Broadside?
other? So you can, so you go broadside with the ship so that you can board it. I assume that's what you meant by the lighting of the torches and all of that.
Well, first, actually, because
Okay.
we were trying to stay in line with it to give it less opportunity to spot us catching
Yes.
up with it, when we light the torches at last, it's to give the individuals standing on our deck with the grapnels a
Mhm.
chance to have a good line of sight onto where the deck of the opposite ship is. So they
Right.
land 4 or 5 grapnels on the opposite board and get a good bite into their deck and into their railings before we then draw alongside of them, so that there's not much
Gotcha.
opportunity for them to try and maneuver away from us.
Right, gotcha. So you've already got the hooks on their deck, and then you maneuver in.
That's right.
Right, nice, excellent, very very cool.
And we'll also have a few archers out so
Right.
that when people come up to try and cut the grapnel lines, they get a piece of wood through their body.
Right. All right. Well, cue the epic battle music. Cue the dramatic sweeping of the cameras for the pirates of the Selene are about to attack. So I'm going to set up a very quick turn order thingy here.
Turn order thingy.
I'm just going to remember how to do this custom-wise. We're going to stick to our normal order, and then we will rearrange it once dice rolls have happened. But for now, I'll punch it in as we had. So, oh, there we go. It came back. Okay, great. Oh, excellent.
So
We
you
have
need
hand
I'm in there
slice.
twice.
Yeah. How do I? Does anyone know how I delete one?
You should be able to right click
Yeah.
and just delete one.
Okay.
Or just hit the delete button once one is highlighted.
That might work also. Yeah.
Backspace.
There might be an X
Drag it out.
No,
or drag it out. No.
I can't drag it out. Now I have hail in there twice. Oh no!
Ah, there you
it
go.
goes. Okay.
What'd you do?
I double clicked on it.
All right.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's a little counterintuitive.
I immediately tried to double click on my own name.
All right. Anyways, wait a minute. So it should be like that. Okay, to at least to start. So, okay. Excellent. So, so here's the scoop. I won't presume anyone has done anything at this moment, but those of you who are ready to attack the ship are in position to do so. So let me give you a rundown of what you see on the opposite ship at the moment. There are a couple of men. They're dressed in like naval uniforms. Again, bearing the marks of Avalon on them. Obviously, like sort of the night patrol or whatever. So it's just a handful of people. You imagine that there's, of course, more down below. This is all happening in a matter of seconds, so perhaps some of them, I imagine most of the ones on the deck at this point have caught wind of something and are starting to move around. But the main force hasn't arrived just yet. There's just a couple of stragglers, maybe 5 or 6, up on deck, starting to sort of come awake with the idea that there's a pirate threat imminent. But you can, for those of you who have keener senses, definitely are aware that there are many, many more of hustling and bustling feet just below. So, Hale, we'll start with you. What would you like to do?
Well, lads, here it is at last. Let's get started, shall we? Mr. Reinhardt, I believe that you and your boarding team are at the ready.
How to? Yeah, I was gonna be in a particular position, so you'd have to be yelling.
Just assume that I am, and I'm not peeking the mic on purpose.
That's fine. That's fine.
And the enemies can't hear us. It's fine. This is Fire Emblem rules.
Mr. Reinhardt!
Hi, Captain.
You and your boarding party at the ready.
Aye, Captain. Ready and waiting.
Good. Then get over there.
I'm already over here. I'm kidding.
All right, and Hale, having given that order to Reinhardt, then spots across the deck, taking a look at, has anybody come up to cut the grapnels yet?
Right.
Is there any particular activity? And prepares basically to deal with the first person who dares to show their head above board.
Okay. So like I said already, the night patrol is obviously now aware because the torches have been lit. Because remember, it's all kind of happening simultaneously. So they've seen the torches. They're starting to, a couple of them are calling for the guards. A couple of them are running over to, pull their swords out or whatever and face whatever. Maybe one or two are running over to try to cut the ropes. Like, they're just starting to kind of get a handle on what's going on. Because you sort of caught them with their pants down a little bit.
Then Hale aims at the one that happens to be closest to where he expects his boarding party to land and shoots them in the head.
Shoots them in the head. Okay. Then I will have a finesse plus aim roll from you eventually. Just hold on to that for a second.
Do you have a silencer attached to your 13th century pistol?
There's a loud insert.
You can put a water bottle in there with some duct tape for the first shot.
I think stealth has flown at this point in any case.
You get a loud.
Now start taking it hard and fast. So.
That's what she said.
He's got a big flared barrel like the base of a trumpet. He's got a loud insert on there.
He's like a blunderbuss, but it only still is one pellet.
He's got, those things they put on the end of trombones to make them quieter?
Yeah,
He's got
exactly.
one of those.
A mute,
Oh, he's got a mute, yeah.
I was thinking that you were saying the other way around. He's got a slide on there.
No.
Do we just have a person that doesn't have a tongue because they're our mute?
Yeah. No. Like Jack Sparrow's crew? No.
Like me.
That would be weird.
We'll see after this episode if that's me.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. By the way, before we move on to Reinhardt, Hale mentioned your boarding party, and I actually am taking that into account because the rules allow for a crew thing. I think I talked very briefly about this in session 1. I don't think it came up because you guys curb stomped them. But you actually do have a team that represents your own crew, kind of like a friendly brute squad. This squad's strength is 10. Okay, so there's 10 people in it. All right, let's just say that. The rest are busy defending the ship, or the rest are carpenters or whatever. But you have 10 people who are ready to fight. And what you can do is you can decide how you want to divide that up. You can divide that into 2 teams. The teams can be as big as you want. It can be like 3-7, 5-5, whatever. And when you give them orders, if they need to roll dice, the number of dice that team would roll is based on how many people you put in it. So you could split them 5 and 5, and then you could effectively give the boarding party 2 actions. Each action would then have 5 dice to roll. And there's no list of things you can order them to do, but obviously, common sense, you can't order them to win. Just basic attack a guy, defend me.
I mean,
if
they were all as good as Eagle, we might be able to tell them just to win, but
yeah. And you can split that up as much as you want. If you want, Richard wrote, 2 men on Fry because he ain't fighting or whatever. If you want to have guys with you, you want to have 8 guys with you, but then 2 guys to defend the squishies or whatever, you can totally do that. However you want to split them, you can split them. So I'm going to put in squad. Oops, not squad.
Squad.
Squid.
No,
Squad.
no, they're just squads now. Squad words.
Okay, so I put squad 1, squad 2. They'll
Okay.
go at the end of the turn. There are 10 of them. If they take any damage, each of them only have 1 HP. So if they take
they have
any,
10
like,
health.
so if the group takes 3 damage, that means 3 of them died. So, and if you lose all the members of a particular squad, that squad's gone. So
Good thing we picked up all that extra help on the other ship.
Exactly. So it's a situation where if people drop here, you can probably replace them, but you'll be less combat effective for now. So anyway, so keep that in mind. You don't need to declare how many people are in that squad right now. You can declare your action first, and I'll come back around to that. But I just wanted to let you know that because that might influence what you want to do. So, anyways, on that topic, I hope that all makes sense. Of course, I will be glad to repeat it if anyone forgets it. But on that topic, Reinhardt, it's over to you. What would you like to do?
Yeah. So my position, I'm up on the central mast
Mm-hmm.
because I'm badass.
Okay.
So I would like to, when we start becoming going along the broadside here, I want to actually run across and try and take out the people that are near the top.
Oops. Okay. People know.
Squares.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so let me just act this out.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, boys, you heard the captain. Get on there and do some conquering. And then I run across, and right now I have my sword sheathed, but I am carrying a couple of daggers with me.
Okay.
Super fancy.
Cool.
And yeah, I want to take out the people up top so they can basically lose their eyes of
Okay.
the ship, and then I want to do stuff after that.
Okay. To gouge out their eyes. Finesse plus weaponry.
And we'll
Nice.
block out the sun. Nathaniel, what was that reference?
We'll fight in the shade.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So that was a Bloodlines reference.
Okay.
Andre goes to gouge out the eyes of the Cambodian. So
That's
anyways,
right.
that was for Chris and maybe Thomas. I don't remember how much he remembers Bloodlines. And also Richard. Richard played Bloodlines. Yeah.
Yes, it did take me a second.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Kirk. And I'll come back around to you at the end after Serrano's announced it. Ask you how you want to split the boarding party squad numbers. Jormanson.
All right. I know the grapnels are on the other ship. How close together are the ships?
You are pouncing distance.
All right. So I could move from one ship to the other without having to roll for it. I could.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. I want to just get over there and start. I assume because it's just the night patrol right now, there's no real brute squad on the deck, but
Not yet. I'm sure they're coming.
To try and pick off whoever looks to be the highest rank among the night patrol, if I could even tell. If not, just whoever's closest.
Okay. Pick off. Interesting choice of words.
Sorry. Let me. The pick would be picking him and then hitting him with my hammer, thus knocking him off the boat.
Right. Yes. The classic.
I pick, he off.
Yeah. Pickaxed. Pardon me, sorry. I'm drinking carbonated water and I'm paying for it by burping every 5 seconds. Brawn plus weaponry. Your favorite.
Wow.
Thus far. Very cool. Thank you.
Okay. Fry?
Fry is, I think, going to use his unique skills as an opportunity to assist our crew in their boarding by hanging back and using his very good eyesight and senses to point out specific targets, like big guy over there with a sword, or he's got a rifle up, and like point out
spotter.
some
yeah. Okay, cool. Let's do wits plus notice then. Wits, notice. Okay, and Serrano.
Andre, at this point, has probably transformed.
Okay.
So that he can be best effective.
Yes.
Big.
He could be our best boy.
And Andre is now in werewolf form.
He goes into a rage.
Okay.
His barbarian rage.
Is
Andre
reaction?
doing the half shift into a werewolf, as we might imagine it in
Yes.
popular culture, or all the way to wolf?
Wolfman.
Wolfman. He's halfway there.
Yeah.
And he's going to try to. If there's a group of people that are collected together, he's going to try and attack that entire group.
Okay. Well, there might be soon. For now, I will have you get ready for a brawn brawl. Brawn plus brawl.
Ron Brawl 2024.
Now Andre is here. Yep, there is. Okay, so
Look,
now
you did it to us before, Nathaniel. I can't stop thinking, who could it be?
So now before we have anyone roll, Reinhardt, I'd like you to decide how you want to split your 10 guys.
Right now, can I decide how to split them again later on?
Yes, you can re-split them every round.
Okay. So right now, assuming there's not many people, splitting it down the middle, 50-50.
Okay, 5
and they're going to try and cover both entrances from below decks.
Okay. So they're going to sort of hold the stairs or the hatch or whatever.
Yeah, so normally if I'm thinking most ships have it at both the front and the back, the stern and the aft.
Right.
Nailed it.
Is aft back because it sounds like ass? I don't know.
It's after.
Yeah. Yes. Aft is at the back. I don't think that's why. But aft is at the back, yes.
That's a huge aft.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
ever heard the phrase "looking stern," looking straight forward, rigidly?
Actually,
I've
the
only ever-
stern's the back.
I've only ever
Sorry,
heard of looking
you want
forward.
fore or bow
Yeah.
to the front.
The aft is also the back, though.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
No, I don't know. Whatever.
anyways, yes. Yeah. Bow, stern, anyways. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, 5 and 5, and they're going to hold the stairs. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so then if everyone can go ahead and roll, you know what you need to roll. You may go for it.
Anybody with footing stuff, you get a bonus.
As long as it is a physical action you are taking, indeed.
Yes. 6 raises from Eagle, 3 raises from Fry, 3 raises from Andre, 5 raises from Reinhardt, and 4 raises from Hale. Yeah,
From
3,
Reinhardt.
4.
Plus 4.
There we go. So, there's not even no borders left. Yes, I do. I'm a proper nerd.
Who
Yeah,
did boat
just-
research before? I didn't have to.
Always remember, port and left both have 4 letters in them.
Actually, that's a pretty decent mnemonic.
That's the only one I remember.
Yeah. Because of that. So, also my favorite alcohol. Anyways. So
remember,
we
your
will...
favorite alcohol is on the left.
That's right. So we start highest to lowest as always, which means that Jormundsen is first, followed by Reinhardt, and then
Hale.
Hale. Thank you. He's already there.
Right.
Then
I think
Serrano,
we're just in this
and then
order.
Fry.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
last?
no, sorry, you're right. Fry has higher number than Serrano. Okay. And the
So
squads
nobody
will go at
moved?
the end of the round. The squads will go at the end of the round.
Squads.
So, squads. I don't think anyone moved except Jormungandr. Jormungandr's at the top. Otherwise, and Reinhardt's above Hale. So, okay. So, let us see here. Egil, yes. So, one raise gets it done. You have 5 left over. So this is how we're going to work this. This isn't in the book. It's just something I thought of today, and I think is kind of a cool idea.
Do it.
So just to let you understand, everyone, the way it works when you're facing off against like brute squads, which is this game's version of Goonies, is that like they don't have a dice roll. Their damage is abstracted. And you're just supposed to sort of select whoever to face off against. However, I'm going to let you guys decide who the brute squad's damage, and this is how it's going to work. Whatever races you have left over to do damage, you can decide to split them between inflicting damage and using them to avoid damage. And at the end of the round, whoever spends the least amount of raises to avoid damage is the one who the brute squad will go after, assuming there's any still alive. So Eagle,
like that.
one raise used to actually succeed on your task. You have 5 left over, so all 5 of those could be poured into damage, or you could use a few to defend yourself, as it were. And I'll keep track of that.
The night patrol is being considered a brute squad then.
Yeah, there are 6 of them. Yes.
Okay. Well,
So-
What of those of us who haven't swung over to the enemy ship yet? How do you want to handle that in terms of avoiding damage?
So within reason, I obviously, if it's not logical for you to be hit, like if Fry doesn't spend any on defense, but he's like on the other ship standing in the crow's nest,
I mean, they
obviously he's not gonna get hit.
They can hit me with a bullet.
Yeah,
To be
could
fair.
They could
aim
shoot
at
you or
the opposite
something.
ship. It just doesn't
Yeah.
make as much sense when there's someone trying to stab you
I
right
was
in
gonna
front
say
of you.
most times
Yeah.
you don't shoot the guy
Oh.
across the way when there's a man with a
It'll
hammer.
be
You-
within
most times.
context, but let's say
But-
both Reinhardt and Jormungandr are swinging over, which is obviously their intentions. Whichever of them spend less defense raises, that'll probably be the one who gets it, assuming there's people to hit.
All right. Well,
So
all of my raises are going straight to damage.
Okay.
Jormungandr does not care if he gets hit. He just wants to inflict the most possible damage.
okay. Okay, Miguel, you swing and land on the deck of the other ship with a mighty thud, the wood giving away a little bit to your weight, and you go swinging. And you run through the night patrol like you're knocking over sacks of potatoes. Some of them get pulped, some of them fling into the air and crash into the water on the other side of the ship. But there are 5 less guys alive.
One of
as
them,
you
Eagle calls his
continue
shot.
swiping through.
He points out to the open water like Babe Ruth and just fucking.
It's a hole in one, baby. So
My favorite baseball
What is-
term.
Yeah, what is Eagle currently using as his weapon, Thomas?
Like a shipwright's mallet, just like a big hammer made
Okay.
for fixing ships. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thomas has a thing about hammers. I have noticed that. So.
They're the.
Hey, that's
they're,
fun.
we can talk
Yeah.
about it another time. They are
Yeah.
like objectively the best weapon.
It's good
Oh.
against armor, it's good against flesh.
Okay, thank you very much. Over to you, Reinhardt. So you have 5 raises. 1 obviously to succeed, which means you have 4 left over for damage, of course. At the moment, there is
One guy left.
1 guy left. Yeah. So, assuming more don't flood in.
Wait,
And as
did we
long as
say
one-
1? No, I only see 0 and 6 dead guys because I just killed the last guy.
There you go. You killed the
So-
last guy. So, so I assume then, I'm safely assuming that you spend 1 to kill the last guy and the other 3 to avoid any damage that might show up.
Yep.
Okay. Pretty safe assumption there. So,
I stab him with finesse.
yes.
Make a little
By
smiley face.
the way, if any of you are wondering, why isn't Nathaniel mentioning about consequences and stuff? Obviously, in combat scenarios, the consequences are you could take damage. So, those are usually spoken for. And I will mention if something else happens.
Don't worry, they're a surprise tool Nathaniel's saving for later.
Yeah,
So
these are the
Hale,
Goonies, the jobbers.
So, Hale, at the moment, the night patrol are all dead. So, you have two options here with your 4 raises. You can improvise and do something else instead, and change your action, or you can sort of just hold on to it and see what happens. Sort of like a defer.
That's not all of them. I can wait.
Okay. Very good. So I will. I'll leave you at the top here, and we'll cycle back to you. Fry. Let's see. You got 2 raises. Yeah.
So since my original action was to point out guys, I think that's useful. Still, as the guys on deck are clear. All right, cool. These guys are coming up. Oh, there's a guy there. There's a guy there. So I think I'd still hold on to the same action.
Okay. 1 to succeed. You have 2 left over. Okay. So 2 raises. You can split them. So let's just call this left and right. So those guys coming from the left, there's guys coming from the right. Right now, those are being watched over by the boarding party, of course, but they will swarm in. You can split your raises between the 2 and give general movements of both, or you can hone in on one side, give very detailed movements of one side and ignore the other side.
Can I
Yes.
offer a slightly different idea?
Are
you able to give or trade raises with other people if you're in an assist kind of situation?
No.
Okay, so then I cannot give them to somebody else. Computer ends simulation.
Thing I've ever heard.
Yes, I think then if that's the case, I am going to. I'll use my raises to give more accurate readings towards the left side. However, my answer past that would be, pay attention to your right, though. I have no idea. Kind of.
Okay. So you're focusing your attention on the left for now.
More
Okay,
details
understood.
on the left, less so on the right. Yes.
Okay, so I will take that into account for those who are on the left side and those might be coming from the left. And then Serrano.
Yep.
Again, there is no one on the deck for the moment. So you have 3 raises. You can change your action, improvise, or you can just sort of hop over and wait for something to happen. Alternatively, Fry has given intel on who's coming up the left side, and because it's all simultaneous, he'll get the intel at the end of the round. But you know he's starting to shout, left side, blah, 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 blah. Then you can either move to the left in reaction, or you can move to the right in reaction. Whatever.
I'll move towards wherever.
The world's your oyster, really.
Fry, yeah, I'll move towards wherever Fry said there's guys coming from. And
Okay, so to the left. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on the attack. Eat someone? No.
No.
I will not eat someone.
2 people?
Eek.
Now we're talking.
Nice. All right. So let's.
That's more like it.
Let us move on to. I guess that's everybody except for the squads. So here's what happens at the end of the round. With the boarding party killed. The boarding party. Not you guys. Sorry, you're alive.
This went terribly wrong.
You all died instantly.
With the night
Great
watch.
campaign, guys.
When the
See you next
TNT, when the TNT on the deck goes off and kills all of you. No.
Minecraft.
When I cast Meteor Swarm on all of you.
No,
No, that's later. Don't
Thought you were
spoil
saying
it.
that for the last session.
Yeah. With the 6 Night Watch guys dead, at least one of them got off like a pirates or something before he was killed.
Wasn't mine.
Pirates or something. Ugh.
Yeah, Kirk, I'll give that one to you. It was probably one of my 5.
Yeah. So, the one he yeeted over the deck.
Yeah, as he flung into the ocean.
What? We couldn't hear what you said. You were overboard.
So right now, what's happening is squads of Marines are rushing up both stairways. One from the left side, one from the right side. Fry, you just sort of kind of catch glimpses of movement on the right-hand side. Not too much there. Left-hand side, you see that there are, in fact, 10 guys coming up the stairs. And behind them is an 11th gentleman. He is in a long, flowy, sort of like not quite red, not quite purple, sort of like a blood red kind of flowy robe. So, three guesses who that is. And then, yeah, there's some motion on the other side. So the squads that Reinhardt has posted on the stairs take their actions to basically hold the stairs against them. So I am going to go ahead and roll for them.
Only so many that can climb up the stairs at a single time.
Let's see, 5. So here's the left side stairs.
They've been doing leg day.
4. And here's right side stairs. Oh, that's 1d10. Sorry. And 4 more. Okay, so that's 19 plus 6 is 25. Okay, yeah, so the right side guys don't do as well. Okay.
Which is
All right.
good, because you said the mage
Appropriate.
guy, or the guy in flowy robes that we definitely don't know is a mage, is on the left, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the mage guy is on the left. Yeah, that's right.
The guy in flowy robes. We don't know that he's a mage yet.
We don't know he's a mage.
There's no
yet.
way to know that.
There's
You
no
could
way
just
to
be
know.
wearing robes.
Yeah.
Maybe he just woke up.
Hey,
He's
man,
gonna get
I wear
fucked
robes
up
all
Got
the
throwing
regardless.
on your house coat and you're going out to see what's up.
I wear robes all the time. They're really comfortable.
I was
They're
in
easy to
a
wear.
robe today until like 1:30. So
You best be glad Reinhardt's not around. He'll murder anybody in robes.
You best be glad Reinhardt's not around. You're
I
in
love
one.
robes. They're comfy and easy to wear.
That's funny.
Nice.
So your guys managed to kill 4 of the Marines coming up the stairs. Unfortunately, that is their last stand. The Marines managed to overpower the rest of the Marines managed to overpower them and make it to the top of the deck. On the other side, the team over there managed to cut down 2 of the Marines as they come up the stairs, and then they themselves are subdued before the rest make it to the top.
What happened to all their HP?
Well, obviously we're recruiting from the wrong ports.
Don't worry, those are all the expendable guys you captured from the other pirate ship. So,
But those are my expendable guys.
Well, we offered them
so-
a chance at life and freedom. I guess they only got 50% of the deal.
They were just bad at it.
So, I will describe the top of round 2, and then we will take our break. So, let me set the stage here as we dramatically set up round 2.
Here comes
Now-
the meteor swarm.
Now, now we are where 6 Avalon Marines have made their way to the top of the deck on the left-hand side. Behind the half a dozen of them stands an older man, I should say. Most of his hair has fallen out. You can see in equal parts from like pulling it out, basically, as to actually genetics. He has a long, flowy scarlet robe. There's a good description. And he stares out at all of you with an unnatural vision. He's got the same sort of reflection in his eyes that cats have at nighttime. That's exactly the kind of look he has. Yellow eyes and all, as he gazes out to the pirates around him. So, sorry. And on the
what color were
right-hand
those?
side...
What color were those robes, Nathaniel?
So, I'm gonna just crush everyone's hopes and dreams. This is a generic sorcerer guy that you've never seen before. Okay.
It's
Until we
No.
come back from break, when it's actually
Come on, this is episode 3 of 6. We're not meeting someone we know until episode 5.
On the right-hand side, on the right-hand side, 8 Avalon Marines have made it to the top. And behind them walks out a not plump but well-built guy. You can tell he's a bit stocky, a bit brawny, but you can tell it's muscle and not fat. He definitely has not skipped a day at the gym. Not ego levels of build, but just like physically apt. More like Hale or Reinhardt levels of physical. And he's got a very, very, very expensive looking sword draped on one side. A very fancy hat and all with a little feather in it and all of that. He comes out. He's got a very, very tiny, neat black goatee and mustache going on. And he swings around to face Reinhardt. Ah, I see. So not every member of this pirate crew is riffraff. Your swordsmanship seems familiar to me, duelist. Tell me, what is your name?
Actually, I'm up here.
Just assume he's shouting.
Yeah, no, I would still say that.
Okay.
Is that an official request?
It is a proper one. I will give you my name nonetheless. I am Montgomery Myson, and it's the last name you will ever hear.
Pleasure to meet you. And say hello to your doom. Joseph Reinhardt, at your service.
I challenge you, Joseph Reinhardt, to a duel.
Oh, you put me in a real pickle now, didn't you? I have to accept.
Very good. As that's going on the left-hand side, the sorcerer and the other marines start to clamber their way up to the top of the deck. The pirate draft recruits are falling left and right, and the sorcerer stares across the deck at the rest of the invading pirates and those still waiting on the ship to get into the action. And he gives a bit of a grin as he sees Andre. And in a moment, Andre, there is the sound of splintering wood below you. And in another moment, there's a crash as part of the floor gives way, and a huge just lump of black fur rushes at you, and sort of jumps across you, taking a very surface scratch at you. It barely stings, and it heals after a moment. But the creature lands on all fours, slides next to you, and gives out a blood-curdling howl. For all intents and purposes, it's a huge dog, think Great Dane-sized kind of thing. But its fur is pure ebon black, and its eyes shimmer with a red glow. Every time it exhales, a little puff of smoke exhales like it's got a candle burning within its throat. And it gives you a strange sort of growl and snarl as it stares into your eyes.
What the hell is this thing?
A hound to match a hound. Go, my beast. Crush that pathetic attempt at sorcery.
How many times I have to tell I'm not a dog?
All right. And when we return from our break, gentlemen, Reinhardt engages in a duel with Montgomery Myson, Andre Serrano locked in battle with a Hellhound, and the rest of our crew dealing with the Avalon Marines. That's to come in 10 minutes. I'll see you guys at 9:10.
Oh, poor Andre.
See you then.
Hey, welcome back, gentlemen. Hope you're rested up and ready for the fight that awaits us. So here's the scenario right now as it stands. Basically, we have like 3 battles going on now, sort of simultaneously. Reinhardt is engaged in a duel with Montgomery Myson, who, for all intents and purposes, we can potentially presume he is the captain. He definitely is dressed that way. So they're at it. Andre Serrano is engaged with this magical creature that seems to have been a summons of this sorcerer. So he's kind of engaged with him in a one-on-one. And our remaining characters, Hale, Fry, and Jormungson, are engaged with the sorcerer himself, as well as the remaining Marines. With which, I will remind you, 6 plus 8. So there are 14. 14 Goonies, Brute Squad, whatever you want to call them. Divided into one group of 6 and one group of 8. Also, Robert Kiefer joins us for a little bit of this fight. And Ambrose Teague is heading up the actual small group that has stayed behind to defend the ship in case any people try to sneak onto the Selene. So we'll get to you in just a moment, Dad. But we will start with Hale. Oh, actually, before Hale, you declare your action. You deferred your turn from last time.
I did.
So I'm going to have you go ahead. You got... See if we can scroll back up. You had four. You had 4 raises.
Mm-hmm.
So, 1 to succeed. So you have 3. So same deal as I mentioned. At the end of round 2, whoever has spent the least amount of raises to defend themselves, again barring Andre and Reinhardt, will be the target of at least one of the Brute Squad's attacks. So you have 3 raises left over. You can pour them all into damage, or you can spend some to defend yourself, some into damage, however you choose.
Okay, so the initial action was to shoot somebody in the head.
Mm-hmm.
So does that actually happen at this point? Because I was waiting to see who shows up.
You can go for the sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
You can,
That's what I was thinking of.
Or you could go for some of the brutes, and I'll abstract it and say you got a couple, with one bullet kind of thing. So.
You know what? Hale isn't actually on that ship yet. So what he's going to do is he's going to improvise. Now that he's seen that the sorcerer and the captain, or at least it looks like the sorcerer and the captain, are above board, and the treasure remains below board.
Yes.
The captain is going to swing over behind the action and make his way below board as quickly as possible.
Okay. He's going to sneak past the fighting. Okay, so you're improvising.
Sneak is probably the wrong word. He's going to kill as many people as he needs to on the way.
Right. But now your intent is to get down below deck and get the treasure while the sort of leaders of the ship are
secure
engaged.
the treasure.
Yes, secure the treasure, of course. Okay, so you have 3 races. You'll need to spend an extra one to improvise. You have 2 left over. Okay.
The point is that when we hold the treasure, we hold the cards. We don't have to kill these people. We can just leave.
Right, exactly. That's true. You might have to, but we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it plays out.
We'll see how it
That'll
goes.
be on them.
Right. Okay, so you have 2 races left over. Your opportunity versus consequence here. You can spend both raises, and you will get down to the lower decks, the treasure, storage, whatever you want to call it, very, very quickly. You'll be there at the top of round 3 to do with it as you will. However, you are going to take some cuts along the way as some of the Marines try to stop you. So you will take some damage. You can split it 1 and 1. You'll get to the treasure hoard in round 4, but avoid the damage coming your way. Or you can spend both of them, who knows when you'll get to the treasure hoard, and kill some fools on your way.
Yeah, the last.
The last? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not in a terrible rush. I'm just making my way in the right direction.
Okay. Very good.
And
then,
I want to keep my crew from having to deal with too many fools.
All right. Then 2 more Marines taste your...
Yeah, I swing across. I pull 2 pistols loose from the bandolier.
Yeah.
Below the line of where my gold-runed pistol lies, near my heart. Yeah. And plug 2 fools on my way towards the downward stairs.
No.
Bang, bang. 2 face lead.
Are these 2 fools on the right side or the left side?
Which side is Eagle on?
Eagle will be heading to the right. So the left side has 6 guys plus the sorcerer.
Then I'm headed to the left side.
And the
I know
right
how
side
Eagle
has
likes
8
his
guys.
likes his combat, and I don't want to be in the way of a wild swing.
Captain, I owe you another one.
All right, so then the left side then is down to 4 dudes and the sorcerer then, since 2 have tasted lead. So okay, so that was your defer action from round 1. So now we can go into round 2
All right, very good.
to declare your actions, starting with Hale.
All right, then Hale is going to continue his stride towards the downstairs stairs. Envision this as him just sort of striding across the boards. He's not running for it. He's not taking undue haste. No, he's an older man. He doesn't have that sort of vitality. What he does have is a bandolier of pistols, and he continues firing them off as he goes.
Okay. So your main intent still is to try to clear as many people out on your way, not necessarily to get there with speed.
I don't want them coming up behind me. That doesn't accomplish anything.
Okay. How, like, because I could, okay, let's do, can I have you do resolve plus aim this time?
Resolve plus aim. All right.
Yeah. Because Hale is firing with a purpose. There's a sense of, he's trying to cross the finish line.
All right.
Okay. So we'll come back to you to roll that.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Reinhardt. So obviously you're now engaged in a duel. So actually I'm going to come back to you. We'll do you last. Because you're kind of in your own thing. So I'm going to have Serrano and Reinhardt at the bottom here. Because they're kind of in their own individual fights. Let's move to Jormungson next then.
All right. Jormungson, he knows what songs he's good at, so he only plays the classics, baby. Jormundson's taking his hammer, he's running to the right side, and he's going to just jump inside that group of 8 guys and start swinging.
Nice. I love it. Brawn and weapons, baby.
Thank you, sir.
I'll put that in Reinhardt. Jormungson. Okay. Fry.
I'm still on the other side of the boat. I'm still keeping a lookout. I don't move from here. Has
Good lookout. If you get in front of some of the other people who are trying to attack, your spotting might give them some bonuses. But it'll come down to how many races you get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I say in front of, I mean like if you can go before. Say you go before Eagle, and you spot for him, then he might get a bonus die or something.
You're right.
Yeah. So
I do still like
I'm just
that
telling you how
because
I would handle that mechanically.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is tremendously injured yet, so my job as a medic is not needed. So I think it's just more of the same then, making sure that my team can know what's coming ahead of them rather than getting surprised and getting absolutely myrtleated by something that they have not seen.
Right. Okay. So you're going to continue to play spotter then, as
I believe so for the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
That was wits and reason last time, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say your wits and resolve are the same. I was going to have you maybe do resolve this time, but they're the same number. And then notice, unless you can think of something that makes more sense. But I think notice makes more sense.
Notice is the thing that makes the most sense here too.
Yeah. So wits or resolve, because I know they're the same for you, plus notice. So. Okay. And then, so first we rolled and each maneuver takes 1 raise to use, right? It goes back and forth until all raises have been used by both parties or 1 person is dead, right? And then assumably, Kirk, then for the duel, if we get to the end and both people have used their raises and no one's dead, we would start again. We do a new approach, roll again, all of that?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. That's what I figured.
That's how your dueling works, yeah.
All right, and then Andre Serrano, you are locked in with this hellhound, we'll call him, for lack of a better word. What would you like to do? Assumably attack in some way, but...
Andre doesn't want to have to kill a dog. But it's pretty rude. It scratched him. He's going to, when it lunges at him next, try and use its weight to sort of throw it towards the water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want to try to toss it overboard, kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So sort of like it's like a little judo throw.
Yeah.
Brawn for sure. Plus brawl or athletics. They're both the same for you. So whichever one you think makes more sense flavor wise. So brawn plus athletics or brawn plus brawl. Your choice. So
I'll go
right.
athletics.
So let's resolve all of those rolls, and then I'll have Reinhardt roll for his duel afterwards.
Yep, no, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of like a separate scene
So
altogether.
so roll
Exactly.
now.
Yeah, roll now, please. Okay, 5. Oh, the 59. 5 raises from
Damn.
Eagle.
Eagle, damn, man.
Like I said, I only do what I'm good at.
Yeah. 39. 3
I got
raises from
one
Andre.
better than last time.
5 raises from Hale. 3 raises from Fry. And then Reinhardt's going to roll separately. Okay. So, we are going to kick things off with Eagle. All right, so Jormungson, then Hale, then Andre, then Fry, and then Teague. Stand by, Dad.
As you said before,
Mhm.
it's 1 to succeed, and then everything else I get to split between damage and avoiding attacks.
Yes.
Yet again, not worried about avoiding attacks. All of it
It's
is going to be damage.
4 into it. Okay.
Spoilers.
Eagle does like one of those like warrior leaps from one of like the GBA Fire Emblems or whatever, and just smashes down in front of them. the Marines are sent back for a moment, and before they can even grab at their swords and riposte, Eagle has already knocked the heads off of 4 of them. They go rolling across the deck like bowling balls.
And I'm pretty sure I made it clear already, but that's the right side.
Yeah, the right side. Yeah. Yeah, so you've cut that particular force in half. So they like Hulk smash with Berthy because it's Eagle. The Falcon punch,
Right.
yeah.
Onwards and outwards.
Very, very nice, Jormungson. Yeah, and they are the rest of the Marines hungry down to attack you, but they are definitely a little worse for wear, a little scared. All right, Hale. 5 raises on your side, 1 to succeed. We have 4 left over. It's exactly the same thing. You can pour them all into damage, or you can.
How many people did you say were
well.
left on this side? I think there was 4.
Left side, we have 4 plus the sorcerer.
All right, then I murder every son of a bitch on this side and continue on my way.
Okay, so everyone but the sorcerer drops then, for good or evil.
Fine.
How do I?
We'll see.
Okay, and he shoots them with a big bullet. They taste that and they drop. And the sorcerer looks at you, I was going to say wistfully, perhaps riflefully. Riflefully?
Wrathfully?
No, he's
No.
looking at you very playfully. Like, he looks like he's having fun. So,
I'll leave you to play with the animals. You seem like a dog person to me.
okay. And then Serrano? Obviously, you're trying to, like I said, sort of judo throw him over the side. We'll see how successful that is. So you have 3 raises. 1 to succeed, 2 remaining. So you you manage to grab him and lift him up. Whether or not he's faster or more agile than you, you definitely have a bit of a strength edge. And you sort of like you try to chuck him over the side. The dog the hellhound. I call him a dog. It's not like you're fighting a dachshund or something. The hellhound manages to evade falling over the side, but he does take a nasty hit as you slam him into the deck hard. And he sort of like rolls and comes back up onto his feet and bares his teeth at you, ready to attack. So,
I snarl back.
damage. Okay. So let's see. Now Fry. Unfortunately, yeah. So you're behind the others. However, let's see. So 1 to succeed. Okay. So here's your option, Fry. I will give you a choice. You can spot out either the remaining Goonies fighting Eagle, and sort of give Eagle like a little bit of an edge, like, okay, they're reaching for the swords, go for so-and-so first, man, or whatever, and give him a bonus die the next time he attacks. You can spot out the Sorcerer and what he's doing, and give Hale a bonus the next time he engages, if and when. Or, you can notice something else that might be happening right now and get yourself out of danger. But I will not tell you what that is unless you decide to take that third option.
Choose wisely.
Great. Well, I would like to not die.
Okay.
So it depends. If I am focused on making sure that my attention is across the board, I would say I shouldn't necessarily notice what is happening in my immediate vicinity, let's say. For more fun in this scenario, let's go with I am going to give Hale some bonus die against the sorcerer.
Okay. So then, Fry, you notice the sorcerer reaching for something on his belt behind him. So I'll let you go ahead and say whatever you want to say.
Captain! Watch out, he's pulling a trick on you!
Right. You are immediately killed.
Thank you kindly, Doctor.
Actually, you know what? We'll see.
Yeah. All right. What you didn't notice, Fry, unfortunately, because you were focused on the sorcerer, was a couple of Marines have come up again from below decks, made their way past Eagle and Hale, who are currently engaged, and reverse boarded the Selene.
Climb way up the side of the ship with their sword in their teeth.
One of them manages to get a graze shot off of you. Definitely not lethal, but manages to tear a hole into one of your legs. I would like you to take a dramatic wound, please.
5 then?
Yeah. Well, whatever it takes to get you to a dramatic wound.
Yeah.
However, the 4 Avalon Marines who make it over to the other side do not get far, because soon they face off against Ambrose Teague, leading up the small squad who's been left behind to defend the Selene. Dad, what do you do to these poor fools who don't notice you?
Cannot cross this line.
Mm.
No, that's not good. All right, so Ambrose Teague.
Love it.
Ambrose Teague tells Ulysses to attack, and then while the Marines are distracted by Ulysses screeching "hoo hoo," he runs the he's shaking your head for it, Kirk. Runs the Marines through with his sword, with his saber.
Nice.
All 4 of them
Excellent.
like a shish kebab.
Yeah.
Shish
You know
kebab.
that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean
kebab.
where they get the 3 guys with that like the oar or whatever, and they're like running back and forth. They have the 3 guys there or whatever. Anyways, okay. In a few quick successive stabs, Teague manages to take down the Avalon guys who are much too focused on Fry to notice our intrepid ship's carpenter coming from behind them. So, Star Trek 12. Yeah. And Ulysses the Owl. So, yes, we mustn't forget about him. Thank you for getting Quinn into this franchise again, by the way, Dad. I very much appreciate it. So,
Oh, Mr. Teague, little faster next time, but good work. Got a
Thank you, Mr.
leader
Fry.
here. Feel this in the morning.
all right. Thank you very much. The Selene is safe. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Teague.
You saved our
so-
ship.
So now we come to Reinhardt. So you and Mr. Myson need to roll for your approaches. So I will let you. Well, I'm not going to tell you what he's declaring, but I'll let you declare what your intent is.
Okay.
How it works, or do you just tell me what it is you're rolling, or do you still say like, oh no, I want to do this or that?
So I think you still tell me what I need to roll.
Okay.
For everybody listening, watching, this is the first time we're doing a duel.
Exactly. Bum-bum.
I get out my duel disc and no, so I basically go through what I'm going to be doing, and you will tell me what to roll, and then you will roll for your dude as well.
Yes.
And then basically whoever has the most raises, so the highest number, goes first.
Right.
And then we go back and forth until all raises have been used.
Okay.
And that is the first round of combat. So, since I'm up top, I wanted to kind of do a little flair beforehand.
Oh, nice. Please do.
Okay. So, there was that interaction between them, but Reinhardt's still up top where the sails are because he took out the watch guy.
Right. Yes.
Seeing and also being requested for a duel, he takes out his saber and stabs it into the sail and decides to coast down while cutting the sail of the other ship.
Oh, cool. Yes.
And lands with a grace only befitting a master swordsman.
Very nice.
So, a duel, eh? Haven't had one of those in God knows how long. What'd you say your name was?
Montgomery.
Montgomery. Well, as you know, one cannot refuse a duel. I hope you're prepared to suffer the consequences. For I am a master of the Sabbat style.
And I am master of Aldana. We shall see which serves us better.
Of course. On guard.
Ching!
So, I basically want to approach this with very, very quick footing and kind of light on my feet with my weaponry.
Dance around him. Okay. Finesse plus athletics or finesse plus weaponry?
Cool.
Whichever you think is more appropriate.
They're the same.
Yeah.
So I think
That's
weaponry because
sword
fight, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go ahead and roll. I get a bonus. 46.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. He would have.
And I think technically there is no default action. Each one would be considered a raise.
Right.
So I would have 4 actions I could potentially use right now.
Yes, yeah, that's how I understood it too. Rather than the usual combat, which is there's a thingy and then the raises are used for pluses or minuses, each thing is one raise.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm glad I'm a pacifist.
Okay, well, could be worse, could be better. Oh well. I guess 2 then. Okay, well then you're definitely first.
Now, Montgomery, I'm not too sure how much you know about the Sabbat style, but, well, let's just say I have a way to finish this in one swift movement. Are you ready?
I am prepared, as always.
Very well, then. And I take a step back and take my sword. I go perpendicular to him so that I have the least amount of surface area. And then I lunge forward. And
yes, the lunge. Yes.
I trigger my Sabbat Gambit, which is the replacement of my lunge.
Right. Please read that out for me because I don't have that here.
There you go. People
Oh.
people can see on there too.
Perfect.
There we go.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you.
So basically, I spend 1 raise, so I have that, and then I do wounds equal to my ranks in weaponry plus finesse plus the number of raises I spend, and I burn
You have 3.
all 3 of them.
Yeah. So you have 3 plus your finesse, which is 4?
4 plus weaponry 3, so that's 10 damage.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So 10. Woof. All right. Doggy. All right. Very good. Duly noted.
He has 11 HP.
Duly noted.
Montgomery is taken aback by the swiftness of your lunge. You manage to get him just missing his heart, but still piercing something vital and squishy nonetheless. As you pull your sword back quickly from the strike, you note that the tip of your blade is now oozing with the blood of your foe. But Montgomery's eyes widen in both surprise and pain as he notes the horrendous blow inflicted upon him. Very good. And he makes his response. So he's gonna lunge you back. So he's got 1 raise to spend. So ranks and weaponry plus the raises you spend. He does not have the Sabat Gambit thingamabob.
Yep.
However, he does have the Aldana Ruse. When you wield a fencing sword in one hand and nothing else, you perform a special maneuver called the Aldana Ruse, causing your target to take additional wounds equal to your ranks in panache.
Ouch.
He takes wounds. So,
This is gonna hurt so bad.
So its lunge is weaponry plus the raises you spend, and then he adds his panache basically. So
Weapons plus raises, yeah.
That is 8 back towards you.
Ouchie wawa.
What does that look like in terms of descriptive
That feels
text?
like 2 major wounds, but
No, not quite.
Almost. A little shy.
Yeah.
Because I think it's 5-2, right? So
Yep.
5-2, yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
you were
pretty
clear
dramatic.
before this. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't. I was close though.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Montgomery takes a moment. He seems winded and defeated. And then with a deep breath in, he strikes back with a finesse and grace, obviously, from his own years of learning, and manages to stick you. Maybe not quite in such a vital area, but you have a feeling that something has come undone that maybe shouldn't have. And he also draws back out his sword from sort of just below the ribcage and the gut. Again, sort of dark blood dripping off of the tip of his blade.
Wow. That was good. That was good. How are you not dead?
Sheer willpower, my friend. I could ask the same of you.
Well, I think in this exchange, I become victorious.
Nice. Activate your virtue the first time you wound a villain during a fight to make her take a dramatic wound in addition to the wounds you normally deal. Nice.
An additional dramatic wound.
Oh, that's fantastic! What a great play!
You're gonna like. This is like the samurai.
Montgomery gives you another smile as he prepares for another attack, and then his eyes go wide again with surprise. Oh my! I see. You struck a little closer than I. And his hand loosens the grip on his saber, which drops to the floor and rolls a little bit. It sort of ends at your feet. Well fought. And he falls backwards onto the deck.
Yours is not a name I'll forget, Montgomery. And I fall to one knee, stabbing my sword into the ground and
Yes.
trying very desperately to hold my shit together right now.
Yes. And your internal organs.
That too. That too,
Yes,
yeah.
that too.
Well, he stabbed him in the bowels, so he can do both at the same
Ow.
time.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, ouch. So, here's some of the stem.
Despicable
Uh,
Sim.
Good old stim pistol,
Health
baby.
bullets. Yeah. Yes, Reinhardt is victorious, but at what cost? We shall
Ouch.
soon learn.
Very badly.
Yeah.
So I did end up getting a dramatic rune. What is the benefit consequence to that?
The benefit of your first dramatic wound
you
is
get
that
one
you get
extra
to roll
D10.
one more
one
on
extra
every
D10 to all rolls, yeah.
On the
So it
second
goes-
one, you get
It goes
big penalty,
good,
though.
bad, good,
And really bad.
dead,
Dead.
or unconscious. Well, however it goes.
Incapacitated,
Cool.
whatever. Yeah. So,
Coup de grace.
yeah. Excellent. Okay. So that brings us to the end of round 2. To recap, all of the Marines on the deck are dead. The duelist facing off against Reinhardt is dead. The sorcerer has not been wounded as of yet. The Marines who have attempted to board the Selene have been killed by Teague. And the Hellhound creature is still engaged with Andre.
So, Terror of the Sea, right over here.
So that is how it stands at the
The
beginning
crew
of round
of the
3.
Selene.
That is how it begins. That is how the.
How many Marines have we
looks.
killed at this point?
Let's
15?
see. 10 plus the initial 16. Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
Not bad, gentlemen. Not bad. You
16
can do
plus
better, though.
presumably the
It's not our
captain.
record.
So, yeah. So,
It can be like
All right,
80 wolves in one tornado or something.
Hale's looking for his second storm cloud this campaign. So he's still waiting to mark that one off. Okay, so we come to the top of round 3 then. That's so unintuitive. You have to click on him to get rid of him. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah, it's weird.
that's weird. Anyways, so top of round 3, Hale. What say you?
All right. Does it seem like this playfully smiling sorcerer is going to be an obstacle to me going below decks?
I think that probably goes without saying. I think he's going to try something. Fry did mention to you that he's pulling a trick. So,
Well, then I'm going to activate my virtue.
ooh. To take your first action before anyone else. Okay, cool. Alright, so then regardless of how many races you get, you will be going first.
And then I'm going to shoot him in the head.
Okay. So you can go ahead and roll right now then.
All right, I'm going to...
Actually, not before we do that, but shouldn't we resolve the enemy turn as well? The goons and stuff? Yeah.
Oh, well, the goons
We
are
killed
dead.
them all.
But
We
yes,
did
you're
kill
right.
the
All of them?
goons
No,
there.
there's 4 next
Oh, no,
to
that's
me.
right. There were still 4 around Eagle, right?
No, oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, sorry. I marked off the wrong 4. You're right. There's still 4 near Eagle.
That was
That's
the
true.
4 on our ship that Teague killed.
No, that
And
was
then,
a different
and then
4.
I suppose the sorcerer hasn't actually had a chance to do anything yet.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Thomas.
Nah, it's
Thomas
fine. Go
saving-
ahead.
All right, sorry to
Thomas
dash
saving
your
the game.
plans there, Chris, but
Yeah.
I'm looking
no,
at this.
no.
I'm like, this seems a little too easy.
No, you're
I feel
right. They
like-
should actually get a chance to do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're
He-
absolutely right.
He'll
You're
cast
absolutely
Meteor
right.
Storm in the last 2 seconds of his brain, like while he's still got neurons firing. so.
Okay. So, there's no roll from the brute squad. You're facing Eagle. You just take 4 wounds straight up.
Excellent. That will push me to my first dramatic wound.
That's a lot.
Okay. So yeah, you're on your first traumatic wound. The sorcerer, you didn't spend any dice on defense either, Hale. So you face the full might of the sorcerer's wrath here. However, because Fry spotted you out, I will reduce the damage slightly that he will do, because you're a little bit more prepared. So the sorcerer reaches behind him, and you notice that he like pricks his finger on something. He's got like not a nail, but just like the edge of a scalpel or like a really sharp cool pen or something on his belt. And he kind of swipes his index finger over it, and you see like a little drop of blood come off of it. And he flicks the blood onto one of your shoulders, and it starts to burn, like he threw a vial of acid at you. So I would like you to take 2 wounds, please.
All right.
Fighting a xenomorph.
Fry's spot that the sorcerer's reaching for something manages to get you to sort of like do like a Han Solo kind of lunge, and so the acid manages to miss your face and hit your shoulder instead.
But Nathaniel, what if it was the original cut of the movie?
That is the original. Oh, yeah, you're right. If it was the original
He
cut of
does
the movie,
not
hell,
move
just
his
shut him.
head.
That's right.
Yeah, he does
All-
not move his head. That is the remake. Absolutely.
All damage aside, Fry, you saved the captain's beautiful face, so you're in
That's
for a
true.
promotion.
That's true.
I don't know how much of a promotion I get. I'm still just a doctor.
You're in for something. Out of
You
promotion
become the senior doctor.
That's right.
I'm promoting you to ship's doctor.
You are now technically ahead of Lawrence in the pecking order.
So,
You think
the
doctor would be a
ship's doctor.
little higher?
I promote you to crewmate first class.
Nice, same as Rook.
Yeah. Very good. Okay, so now, with the enemy turns resolved, Hale, now you can go ahead and try to shoot him in the face.
All right. And that's what I'm going to do.
Now that
Alright.
things have changed, do you still want to go first?
Sure do.
Okay, finesse a name, please. You can go ahead and roll since you're going to go first no matter what.
All right. Since I am now faced with a magical opponent, I pull my top pistol out.
Ooh.
It's also near my heart.
Charlene.
Do keep in mind it takes you 5 raises to reload a gun in this system. So
Spend a hero point and bring my signature gold rune pistol into play.
nice.
So I will gain 2 bonus dice on this risk roll.
Oh, and you get 1 more die, Chris, by the way.
I
Because of
do,
me.
'cause I...
I-
Oh, wonderful.
Nathaniel,
I'm going to be rolling a lot of bonus
you
dice.
lowered
Let's see
the
what
damage
happens.
because of it. Does the die still apply?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, sheesh.
I got some bad rolls in there.
Okay, it's still a 5. 5's a 5.
Hey, my extra gave you a
Uh,
10.
Yeah?
So, yeah, there it is. You can think of it that way. So
Thank
one
you
to
kindly, doctor.
so
You're
same,
promoted to ship's doctor.
nice.
Damn
So-
it, I wanted to be ship's doctor.
So 1 to succeed, obviously. You have 4 raises left over. Same bargain. You can spend all of them to pump damage, or you can spend some of them to avoid his counter attack. Assuming he's still alive at the end of the round.
What counterattack?
I continue to spend all of the bullets.
Okay. All of the bullets. All right. So that is okay. So. And the
How does-
sorcerer takes a dramatic wound.
Yeah, how does spend all of the bullets work when this is a flintlock pistol that you need 5 raises?
It's
He
not-
has
it's not-
better, he has better
Yeah.
aim.
It just means that he just shoots
No,
something
he is,
more vital.
he's got a second one in there. It goes out at the same velocity.
He shoots
right.
it harder.
Yeah,
Lucky
you know,
you
it's one of
It
those.
splits when you
You
fire
know,
it,
yeah,
obviously.
exactly. You know those missiles that like split?
It
That's what happens.
explodes part of the way towards the... and
Explodes
turns into a
before
bunch
rounds.
of additional guns.
No, it's just
and
it
then
just
shoots
hurts more.
Shrapnel rounds.
He puts
more
he puts
Hollow
a,
point. He's got hollow points.
he puts a piece of a katana on the front of his gun, so when he fires, it splits it off into 2 into the gun.
Now you're
There you
getting
go.
somewhere.
Now you're getting somewhere. So, all right. The sorcerer takes it in the shoulder. He seems pretty fast for a regular guy. He seems
He's
to
fast?
avoid the main shot of the gun with a supernatural speed, we might say.
Hmm.
Nevertheless, blood begins to trickle out of the wound you've left in the shoulder, and he sort of grabs that in pain.
Oh, what's the matter? I didn't hurt you, did I?
Okay, so with that all said and done, everyone else can now declare what they're going to do and then roll afterwards. Reinhardt, you've come out of the duel at this point, top of round
So
3.
I would like to insert actually that
Yes.
Captain Hale at this point notes that
It looks like your assist is all gone.
Mm.
But luckily, my backup's right here. Mr.
Mm,
Reinhardt.
nice.
Do you want me to declare? Do we want to do the action thingy, like where we talk now, or would that be once we decide who's going first and such?
Yeah, no, I still want you to declare and then we can do the actions. I just had Hale roll it all at once because I knew he was going to be
Okay, no, that's
guaranteed to go
fine.
first.
I was just
Yeah.
wasn't too sure if you just want me to describe what I'm doing now, or
Yeah.
if you want me to act it out, or
Describe / act, but wait until roll until Jormungandr and Fry have gone as well, and Serrano.
cool.
So,
Cool. So you hear from
Yeah.
across the ship, Wizard!
Mm.
I hate your kind. I hate
Mhm.
everything you do and everything that you are. By my hand, you will die today. And
The boy does like his dramatics.
can I make it all the way there with the wounds I have, or do you say no?
can you make it all the way there? I think your overall raises will determine how easy it is for you to sort of storm your way over there.
Okay, you know what? No,
So-
I'm gonna do something. I think this is more flavorful. After my speech, I take my sword in both hands, raise it over my head, and with all the strength I have, throw it at the mage.
Okay, there you go. All right, so that technically sounds like an aim actually, since you're
It
throwing
is.
something.
It would be an aim. Yeah.
Yeah, so finesse and aim, please.
Nice.
Okay, so I'll have you roll that soon. Jormungandr.
I have a mechanics question.
Yes.
If I want to do something, and
Okay.
when it comes to the time when I roll it, I end up failing, can I use one of my abilities then? Because I have an ability that would make me automatically succeed something, but I would like to try my luck before I spend my hero point to automatically succeed.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm gonna have to see the wording on it.
All right, I will just throw it in the chat. Give me one
Yeah, I would
second.
really appreciate that.
We confirmed it's 1 hero point per campaign until we get another
It's
one.
one
not
hero
one per
point
session,
until
correct?
yeah, it's 1 hero point until I say otherwise.
Correct.
Spend a hero point to intimidate a character into backing down from a threat, letting you
So-
into somewhere he shouldn't, or otherwise getting out of your way. I see.
Essentially, I want to tell these guys to surrender because
Right.
their captain's dead. They're
Right.
outmatched. Everything.
Right. Right.
I would rather not spend my hero point, but I want to know if I could fall back on that should I fail the roll.
Mm. I think okay. So I think the short answer is no, because think of it in universe. If you were to fail to attack them and then try to intimidate them, it's going to be harder to intimidate.
No. I'm not going to attack them.
Oh, I
I
see.
want to make an intimidate roll.
Oh, I see.
And
if
if
that
I
fails,
fail it,
yeah.
spend the point to succeed anyways.
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, because I just don't want to waste my point if I would succeed the intimidate roll anyways.
Yeah,
Right?
that's fine.
Okay.
Cool,
Because
so
I don't
let's see.
understand like if these are like I declare it and that's my whole move, or
Yeah.
like I don't understand the order of operations on these advantages sometimes.
Yeah, I think we can play it fast and loose because we're all veterans. That's
Okay.
fine.
So in that case,
yeah,
I would like
intimidate.
Eagle.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
on that staircase. There are 4 guys like bearing down on me. Eagle's just gonna take his mallet and slam it into the wall next to him. Just
Yeah.
try and shatter that wall as much as possible, and
Right.
just scream, "You are outmatched. Your captain is dead. And if you do not lay your weapons down now, you will lay dead as well."
Okay. Oh, yeah. So brawn plus intimidate, please.
And that's Eagle.
Oh yeah, and that's all. Fry.
I. Are there still people that I can see coming up from down below, or has that stopped?
Aside from the 4 guys Eagle is trying to cow, there is the Sorcerer Man who's engaged with Hale, and the evil Hellhound attacking Andre. That is all the hostiles you can spot. As far as you're aware, those are the last 6 people on board this ship.
You might spot a wild sword flying through the air too. If you throw a Pokeball, you might be able to catch it.
I was thinking of getting a quick look downstairs to see what else might be down there.
I mean, you're gonna have to get onto that ship to see downstairs.
I know, yeah, and I have a hurt leg.
It's not hurt if there's a hole there.
No, it's definitely hurt if there's a hole there.
But that part where the hole is doesn't actually hurt. It's everything around it.
I think it hurts the most.
Anyways.
I have no idea. Am I last? No,
Toronto still has to go. Do you want me to ask? Do you want Christian to go?
I'll
come back
defer
to you?
for a second. Give me a moment to think about it, because people are dying too fast. I'm not sure what to do.
Hey, this is a really lethal system.
Right. Is there, like, you know how on larger ships there is like towards the back of the stern of the ship there is a quarters for the captain or something that has like a door that you can enter. Can I try to steal a way into there and see if there's any important documents or treasure or something while the rest of the battle is currently winding down?
Yeah,
get ahead of what the captain is looking for and see if I can, utilize my good eyes to find something useful.
Nice. So finesse or resolve plus theft.
I will say, for half a second there, I thought you were talking about Caligrade Hale's captain quarters, and I thought you were just fucking, like, while the fight was happening, robbing our captain.
No.
I was very happy.
The captain knows that I only rob him when he's asleep. No.
Yeah, if he caught you, he would demote you to ship doctor.
I've been demoted to ship doctor 3 times this week.
I found Jack stealing from me, Dr. Fry. You're demoted to ship's doctor, nailed upside down to the mast.
Problem is, gotta keep you on your toes sometimes, Captain.
Well, this will be the last time, because we're nailing you through the throat. But all the same, it's appreciated the effort you put in.
Are these magic nails? I go and use my virtue. Sneak thief right now is fine for me. Thank you. I like that.
Yeah, so finesse plus theft. Let's do finesse plus theft. Okay. Okay, and then Serrano.
That dog has to go overboard.
What is that dog doing, Christian?
What the dog doing?
Is he trying to hump your leg?
That dog going overboard is what that dog doing.
I'm trying my best to send that dog a-flying into the ocean.
I don't want to murder you. I just want to drown you. Come on.
They can doggy paddle.
You're a spirit and you can't swim. Die.
Sounds like brawn plus brawl again to me.
Brawn and brawl, not aim? Okay.
Yeah, because you're throwing him. You're not throwing a thing at him.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Counterpoint. Fastball special.
Yeah, if Andre's point was to hurt the ocean by throwing a hellhound at it, then
Christian, go and redo.
Hurt the ocean, Christian. It only has
the ocean takes
1 million
dramatic
HP.
wound.
Yeah,
it only has like 6 health. It's really weird.
I hate the ocean. Here's a dog.
That's actually how
Take
you guys
this
get the.
dog.
That's actually how you guys get the worst ending. Is you actually kill the ocean.
You solved my ocean puzzle.
One bucket wound at a time.
Yeah.
The only way to kill the ocean in this series was by throwing a dog in it. Can't believe someone actually did it, the mad lad.
I had
actually
it
have it
written
in
down.
note.
I really didn't think it would ever come up. So,
You never know.
Alright.
anyways,
Can
okay,
reload
so
from save.
Okay,
so, yeah. So we know
for
what
my
we're doing.
roll,
Yeah.
I'm using my hero point to roll
Okay.
an extra die.
Okay, duly noted. Everyone can go ahead and roll at this point. 4 races from Eagle. 6 races from Reinhardt.
Gee,
4 races from Andre.
I am,
3
if
races
anything,
from Fry.
consistent.
Very consistent. So,
I kind of want maybe this guy dead.
yeah. No, I wasn't getting that impression at all.
Maybe
A
a wee bit.
little wee bit.
If you don't kill
Okay.
him,
That roll
then we
is
can interrogate
well
him.
above average, Kirk. Like,
Yeah.
well above average.
Yeah, look at that.
Ridiculous.
9988885. Yeah. That's
Too
good.
bad you
Remember the
didn't get
next
a-
time you say you don't roll well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember
We
this
did.
day.
That's an
I
insane
just have to harness the power of killing mages.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, can we give Kirk 1d1 and let him roll that, please?
All right. So 1 race to succeed. You have 5 left over. So exactly the same thing I've said all night. You can pour all 5 into damage, or you can spend a few of those to negate incoming damage, if when. Nice.
All right, was that to me?
That was
It was, yeah. You can
Sorry,
do full
can you
damage.
repeat that?
You can do full damage, or you can spend some raises to not be attacked, potentially.
Same offer I've said all night. You can spend all 5 for damage, or you can spend a few to avoid incoming damage, if when.
Could I justify to you that this would be using my gambit once more? Or would that be specifically with me holding it in my hands?
I'm thinking you have to hold it, yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I dump literally everything
Okay.
into killing the son of a bitch.
Alright. It's 5. Excellent. Alright, the sword pierces one of his thighs and stays
Oh, fuck.
there. So,
Oh,
he cries out in agony as another trail of blood starts pouring down one leg. And he begins cursing in an unknown tongue, basically. You assume it's cursing because it's loud and is angry.
Do I understand it?
You receive a hero point when you refuse to solve a problem using sorcery, an artifact, or some other mystical effect that you don't trust.
I could have solved this with my thunderbolt, but I used sword.
No, I see what Kirk's trying to get at, because because Hale pointed out that we had items on board the Selene for countering magic, and
Well,
Reinhardt
they're not
refused.
magical themselves, though.
Oh.
They're the opposite of magical.
Yeah. Well, it says an artifact, but
Your call.
so I'll give it to you, but at the end of the session. That'll be my compromise.
Oh, I
Seems
wonder what
reasonable
that
to
means.
me.
So, okay. All right. Next is Jormungson. You had 4 raises.
Sorry, unless we're putting Serrano out of order, actually, he rolled one higher than I did.
Oh, you're right. He got a 43. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Christian. You're next.
Yeah, I totally realized that too.
Yeah.
Rode that
thanks,
dog.
Daniel.
1 raise to succeed. You have 3 raises left over. Same deal as always. You can pour all 3 into damage. You can spend a couple of them to mitigate any damage the Hellhound might deal back.
I want to damage the dog.
Okay. He's a slippery son of a bitch.
He's not even wet yet.
You managed to rake him across. You managed to make him across the face with your mighty werewolf claws, and the dog snarls at you. And this time, instead of just smoke, like flame exerts from his mouth for a moment. But he evades your attempts at another grab.
I look towards the captain that sent it out, but the captain's dead because I wanted to ask him what the hell this thing is.
Shit.
Damn, it's staying out and it doesn't need. Okay, interesting.
Mm. Yeah. The sorcerer's not dead. The captain is, not the sorcerer.
Oh, true. The captain didn't summon it.
Assumably. So.
That's why we know.
Did we see the sorcerer summon it, or did it just
We
come
did
up from
not.
below deck?
I described it crashed out from below deck and leaped onto Andre.
We don't know that the sorcerer
Yeah.
summoned it per se.
Per se.
What if this is just their pet?
Maybe
Like
familiar.
every ship needs a pet, right? We got
Well, we'll
ours.
see.
Yeah.
It'll die, and then somebody will yell, Felix, no!
Yeah, we've got Serrano.
Yeah.
and
Alright, now it's over to Eagle. 1 to succeed, you have 3 left over. Okay, so here's the thing, there's 4 of them. So the number of raises you spend will cow that many guys into submission, but you will leave yourself open to attack by whoever's left.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do all 3.
Okay.
I'm assuming all 3 drop their weapons.
Yep.
And then Eagle turns and yells, Teague, Fry, 3 prisoners on the way. Treat them accordingly.
Nice.
I turn back to them and I go, you 3 head to the boat. If you try and pull anything, you die.
Right.
I look at the one that kept his weapon. You die.
Right. Alright, we'll get to that in just a moment. And Fry, that's right, you are thiefing.
Sneak thiefing.
So you have 3 raises, 1 to succeed, you have 2 left over. Okay.
I'll
So-
wait to see what the conditions are.
So opportunity here and a consequence. Both will require both of your raises, so you'll have to choose. Consequence. Opportunity. If you spend both of your raises on the opportunity, you get into the enemy captain's quarters and get something nice. Something that will help soon. However, you will be noticed for good or ill by someone on the Avalon ship. However, or you can spend both raises to avoid detection, but you're going to have to spend some more time looking around the captain's quarters to find something.
I'm going to take that because I have a plan.
Okay. All right, so you managed to slip into the captain's quarters without notice. You haven't found anything yet.
Okay.
And that brings us to the end of round 3. So now, Eagle, you take 1 damage from the remaining Marine.
Oh, I think he stepped away for a sec.
Okay. When he comes back, I'll remind him.
Nathaniel.
Mhm.
It's probably not going to actually matter. But because of my eagle eyes, if I make a risk that relies heavily on my keen vision, you gain 1 bonus die. I don't think I'm going to be able to break into the next 10 with 1 roll. So I will wait and see if I can proc that for the next one. But we'll see.
Okay. Andre, take 3 wounds from the Hellhound's counterattack against you.
Done.
And as the Hellhound finishes attack on you, you notice a couple of the cuts that you've inflicted on it start to patch up. It obviously also has some sort of limited regeneration ability.
Almost like it's some sort of werehound thing.
3 wounds to you,
It's
and
like
then
looking in that hairy mirror.
and then as for the sorcerer,
Oh, I forgot to roll an extra D10 because of my dramatic wound. Do you want me to roll that?
Oh yeah, you should have.
Doesn't that get figured in automatically? I thought we had figured that out about the character sheets. No?
If we have that in, if you
let's
put a
see.
1 in bonuses after you
No,
roll,
I
it
have-
automatically.
I rolled a
so, yeah.
6, and then I had
Yeah.
3 bonus die. 1 from aim, 1 from sea legs, 1 from hero point. So I should have rolled 9.
You did roll 9. That's what I'm counting
Okay,
here.
so then I should roll an extra one.
Yeah, from the dramatic wound. Okay.
Okay, that
Right.
would have taken it above 70 then, so I would have done 1 extra wound.
1 extra wound. Okay, duly noted.
Same.
Okay,
Oh,
and then-
wow.
Ooh. So, Oh, is that your
Sorry,
dramatic
I
wound?
was
You're
I was
Thomas.
muted, but I was just saying, can I roll mine as well? Because I forgot to also.
Okay. That's an extra 10. So never mind.
So-
You don't take that 1 damage. You actually count all 4.
You
Thank
just kill
you.
the guy still.
I'll in the
He's
future. I'll
holding on to
either
his weapons and then he shakes and he finally drops it.
Thanks
Yeah.
for the leniency. In the future,
Yeah.
when his 3 friends leave, he's like, "Oh, actually, you know what? Fuck this."
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, in the future, I'll either remember or forfeit that die. Thanks for the leniency.
This
Yeah, no
guy
problem.
is
We're
3
still
of
winning,
me.
right?
I've got to stop.
He takes a look at the one man that has killed like 20 guys on this ship, and he's still holding a sword. He's like, "Nah, I'm jail, done."
Yeah, he wasn't actually trying to hold on to his weapon. He just was too afraid. His muscles wouldn't relax
To
in
be
time.
fair
Thinking
to
like
him,
this.
when I turned and yelled, "Hey, there are prisoners coming over!" instead of just fucking smashing those guys, like, yeah, I would have waited too.
Yeah, maybe he was just waiting to see whether or not dropping the weapons meant I get to live.
Okay, so Hale, you rolled lower than Reinhardt. You're the 2 engaged with him. So the sorcerer targets you. I'd like you to take a dramatic wound, please.
Okay. I should also have rolled an extra die 10, but I'm not going to insert that here.
Okay.
I don't think that would have put me above.
I was at 70 something.
Anyways. So
Yeah.
straight to a dramatic wound?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He snaps his fingers,
Hmm.
and the acid burn grows in intensity. It starts to tear at your flesh even more.
How did it even get to my
Scary,
flesh?
man.
I just ripped that lapel off.
It's magic.
Darn
Magic.
it.
It went back to itself. It floated around and landed back
Fucking
on you.
magic.
That's how magic works, baby.
You
How
can start
can
to
you
feel
imagine where it
you
is?
can start to feel it burning into some of your muscles in your arms and shoulder.
You know, I'm pretty
I
sure.
look down at it. I look back up.
Mhm.
Really?
I'm
See
pretty
what you
sure.
got. Some snake spit.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure that's what the Marines say in the alien universe. It's like, but I took that armor off. Well, you're facing an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Yeah, all right, fine.
It's one of those things like the liquid or whatever wasn't even the spell. It was used to communicate the spell to you.
Evil
All
blood.
right. 2 enemy. We're at the top of round 4, I believe. Or round 5. It doesn't really matter. 2 enemies remained. The sorcerer is definitely at death's door. 1 good solid hit will take him out. The hellhound. I'm not sure. Especially since he is able to regenerate some of his wounds. So that is the situation at the moment. So okay. Back to you, Hale.
There's nothing between me and the stairs now, and Mr. Reinhardt's looking awfully eager. Mr. Reinhardt, come reclaim your sword. Oh, and if anyone puts up any objections, finish them off, would you? And then Hale heads below decks.
Right. Okay.
I called dibs on the sword. Remember?
I put my finger to my nose and said, "Not it." Okay.
Exactly.
So Hale is going to go below decks. He's looking for something in specific.
Hmm.
Okay, wits plus notice, please, or resolve plus notice. Your choice.
All right. On my turn, I will roll it.
Okay. Reinhardt. I think I know what you're doing, but
Seeing that I didn't hit center mass, I am like so pissed that the wounds I've taken have auto sealed themselves, so I stopped bleeding. And adrenaline, baby.
Yeah.
You will yourself back to one piece.
Yeah, that's right.
He had strawberry jam all over his screen, but then he stopped behind some cover for a minute, and he was good.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to rush as fast as I can forward, screaming "wizard" at the top of my lungs.
Nice.
Basically, a blood-curdling rage at this point. The fact that the guy's not dead yet.
Right.
And once I get there, I want to grab my sword, two-handed, and pull upwards.
Okay. Finesse and athletics, please.
Cool. All right.
It's an incredible intimidation play, just screaming, "Wizard!"
You're
Jorgensen?
fucking dead!
Yeah. Jorgensen?
Oh, sorry. I would like to head over to where the Hellhound is
Mm-hmm.
and grab it by its back legs and
Yeah.
assist Serrano in throwing it in the drink.
Okay. Pardon me. Braun and Brawl, please.
Gotcha.
Fry?
Sneak and Thiefin. Also, I'll
Right.
say, I'll just put it in chat. Eagle Eyes. I don't know if this is necessarily something that relies on my keen vision, but this is.
If you make a risk that relies heavily on your keen vision, you gain a bonus die. I think it does.
I think it counts.
Let's do wits plus notice, and I'll take Eagle Eyes into account.
Okay. Penalty 0, bonus 1, send.
Don't roll yet. Hold on. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Sorry.
The Serrano still has to declare, but I
It's
guess you're.
still,
I guess you're off,
It's
You're off
automatic.
to decide. So
Yeah, it's automatic for like everything because
Yeah.
we do this
Yeah.
in every
Yeah.
other thing anyway.
yeah, it's
Sorry,
fine. No, it's okay.
guys.
You're not
bastard,
you're not
Richard.
engaged in the.
I'm in my
battle,
own
so it's fine.
scene, really.
Yeah, you're in your own scene, so it's fine. Serrano?
Well, yeah, I'm still trying to get that dog off this boat. I'm struggling at this
Okay.
point. Although
All
I
right.
see Eagle on his way over.
Okay.
I've
so
never
Braun,
seen a man have such issue getting a dog off of a boat.
Okay,
It's
Braun,
Big
It's a
dog.
pretty good
It's a-
dog.
It's a
Braun,
pretty big boat.
it's a magical hellhound. Anyways,
Bra-
It's a pretty
Brawl?
good dog.
Braun and Brawl again, please.
Okay.
It's like trying to take a giant couch up the stairs, and you need to
Yeah.
turn it.
That's right.
Which way? Turn it!
Okay.
No!
We ready to
Pivot!
throw? Pivot.
Yes, we are ready. We are ready to roll, please, and thank you. Eagle gets 4 raises. Andre 3. Reinhardt 3.
Oh, I'm
And
third
Hale
this time.
5.
Damn, son.
Okay.
I am dead last. All right.
Okay, so Hale is first, followed by Eagle, followed by Fry, followed by Serrano, followed by Reinhardt. Okay. So Hale, you make your way down into the lower decks, and yes, as far as you can tell, it looks like the ship is now empty. Well, I should say devoid of people. The ship is definitely not empty. The place is brimming with gold and artifacts and diamonds and jewels. But for Captain Caligrade Hale, there is only one thing you were ever interested in. Possibly to the bafflement of anyone who might be observing you. You dash past all of the gold and fine
Let's say
china.
strides.
Stride, okay. You stride past all of the fine china and gold and gems, and end up finding a small, ornate box. As you open the box, I imagine you're pretty pleased with yourself because you found it. If any of you know those like Chinese like stress balls, the ones that you can like roll around in your hand or whatever, Hale has found a small ball / orb about that size. It is emerald green, and is sort of laced with streaks of what looks like very, very fine white gold. So it's
So
got
the
this sort of
stories
white,
were true.
got this very fine white and green look to it. And as you gaze it, every time you every time you shift like the angle at which to observe it, you swear that in the glass part of the orb, you can see a splash of water or the roll of a wave.
Worlds within worlds.
Your mission here is accomplished, Hale.
Hale places the orb back into the chest with almost a reverence, closes the chest, and places it inside of his large, well-attired jacket, and then kicks the pedestal that it was sitting on over and scatters the pieces of it beneath the remains of the area that they're in there, and scatters them amongst all the rest of the treasure.
Plenty for everyone here. Even me.
Nice. Okay. Okay, excellent. Jormungson.
All right. Now I did very distinctly say that I am assisting Serrano in throwing this wolf into the drink. Eagle realizes that this will be Serrano's first big win with this crew, so he's not looking to steal this.
I see.
He will I don't know, give it like a sharp boop in the snout and like hold its arms, but like he's not gonna throw it overboard. He's just making it ready to be thrown overboard.
Gotcha. Okay. Nevertheless, the offer stands as normal. You've spent 1 to succeed. You have 3 raises. You
Excellent.
can pour all of them into damage.
My
or you can use
response
some of them
stands as
to-
normal.
Your response stands as damage.
All
Okay,
damage.
I assumed so. I assumed as much. Fry? Yes, Fry, you are searching the room. Okay, so you had 45.
I
One
have
goes away. You
45.
have 3 left over. Okay, so you find something that will prove to be very, very important later on. I am going to save it for next session because it'll be relevant later in the narrative, and it'll be more
Okay.
exciting if I tell you
So
later.
then Fry
Uh-huh.
goes, "Oh, this is a pretty little number. I'll stick this one in my bag."
He opens a briefcase like Pulp Fiction and a light shines on his face, but no one gets to see.
Are there documents? Are there like shipping manifests, lists
Actually,
of what
very
could
strangely, very strangely, there isn't anything like that. There isn't even like a map showing the route that this treasure ship is going.
be on board? Really? Oh no. Captain!
Serrano,
There you
you
go.
have 3. 1 has been spent. You have 2 left. I'm assuming they're going to go towards contributing, throwing this bugger overboard.
This dog better be in the water after I'm done saying the sentence.
And this time, with Eagle's help, the 2 of you manage to get the dog up. He manages to get one last swipe on each of you with a fore and hind paw. So if each of you could take 2 wounds, please.
Okey-doke. I will actually use my virtue to soak those from Serrano.
Ooh, thank you. All right, duly noted.
Or not my
Serrano,
virtue, my adversity, whatever.
your hubris, your quirk,
Hubris?
whatever.
Nope, I do mean my virtue. Never
Oh,
mind.
you were dreaming. So you receive a hero point when you're fiercely well off
Oh,
of
the
one
thing
while
you
you're
did
heading
to
against
me.
trouble.
Thank
Passion.
you,
Oh,
Mr. Jormungson.
activate your virtue when another hero takes wounds to prevent her from suffering those wounds. You take 1 dramatic wound instead. Okay. So 2 wounds and 1 dramatic wound, then
That's
please.
okay.
Eagle.
The math ended up the same either way. So
Did it? Okay, great. Andrew, you take nothing. The Hellhound is cast overboard, and as soon as it hits the water, it like hot steam.
Oh,
Oh.
that cut you off like so
It did.
quickly.
It did cut out. However, I did
Oh.
understand what
I
it
got
was.
we
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
got
got
that.
Can
the
you see on my
gist.
camera? Steam.
Yeah, we-
Steam
yeah.
on the water.
Steam.
Yeah, steam.
We weren't cutting to a flashback. It was steam.
That's not smoke. It's steam.
I
From these
did it all
steam dogs
myself.
we're having.
Oh. And finally, of course, we turn to Reinhardt. Yeah, you have more than enough races left over. You tear him asunder. He like you break him in 2,
Cool.
right? Because you're
All
pulling
right.
him up, right? Yeah, like Frieza style, Trunks on Frieza style here. So he is gone.
Now, can I get a thing in?
Yep, you can get a thing in.
Cool.
A zinger.
Hey, Mr. Wizard. Yeah, down here. You know what I like to say? The sword is mightier than magic. And then I rip upwards.
Yep, and then he's freezed. So, and the 2 halves of him fall.
And then
To the floor
I
in bloody
fire an
chunks.
energy blast. Wait.
And 2 of them
And-
fall to the ground in bloody chunks.
Eagle
The ship is
turns.
yours.
Eagle turns to Serrano, claps him on the wolf back. Looks like his bark was worse than his bite, eh?
Andre turns and like angry dog eyes just snarls at you.
Nice. That's a great snarl.
Thank you.
And Discord did not cut you off. Apparently,
No.
it is a-okay with that.
Yeah, he's totally fine with that one. I'm glad it didn't cut you off. That was a great snarl. For those of you on the deck, well, that would be like not Hale and Fry at the moment. For those of you on the deck, as the rush of battle ends the next couple of seconds, all of you are aware suddenly of a shiver. At first, something feels like it's giving you the heebie-jeebies, you know, like that feeling you get when something, like you see a bug crawling past or whatever. Like that's for me, anyways. And then you realize that the shiver is literal. It's getting really, really cold. And you hear coming from the crow's nest of Selene, one of the crew sitting watch, shouting back to whoever will hear, "Avalon! The Avalon fleet!" And as each of you cast your gaze out, it doesn't take eagle eyes to notice that the horizon in every direction now bears a ship with the Avalon flag. They've circled you.
Every direction?
They've circled
Captain,
you.
it was a trap!
It was a trap. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as Nathaniel said there's nothing in there useful, I was like, oh, we're dead. This is it. That's a trap. That's it.
This is a trap.
No shipping manifest? Oh, this was on purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
These
and that's
people were
episode
meant
3.
to die.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I like my little poem to end us on.
Rippity-doo-dah, rippity-day.
Yeah, for
Eagle just
Why you hung sideways?
he claps
fine.
Serrano on the back again and goes, "Don't worry, it's just Avalon. Their bark is also worse than the
Look,
bite."
it's fine. We'll be
He
taken.
sounds unsure though.
We'll be taken in and tried in court, and then we'll be like, "We're privateers from the thing," and they'll be like, "We don't know what you're talking about," and then the
Well,
kingdom will be like,
killed
"We don't
and
know what you're
sunk.
talking
I mean,
about."
I will say while we are privateers from another country. I don't think
Yes,
they're gonna.
that's what I'm saying, and they're also we have no support. We have nothing.
Granted, I gotta say though, they don't
I
have
feel like you're,
any evidence.
you're leaping ahead a little bit to the idea of trial as opposed to summary hanging, which is a lot more.
No,
likely.
but see, the
Cannon
thing is,
fire?
We're too
they don't
important.
have any evidence that we actually did any of this. You know, they didn't have cameras. on
No.
board.
Forget all of that.
All the witnesses are dead.
I just
Well,
found
in
this
the
bunch of
13th
dead bodies.
There are
It's right.
4 prisoners.
That's right.
In the
What?
1300s, hearsay was a valid bit of
Forget
evidence.
all of those things. Forget trials.
We
forget
were
hangings.
Look,
Forget witnesses.
No. See, we came
Just
along.
shooting at sea, dump into ocean.
No, see, we came along and saw that they were in need of help, and when we came aboard, they were already
Yeah.
all dead.
Yeah, naturally.
Again,
Yeah,
forget
that's right.
all of the above. Trials, hangings, witnesses. Forget all that. We're
Or
gonna get away.
opportunities to explain yourself.
We're gonna get away. I'm gonna live forever.
We're gonna
Okay.
get sunk and killed.
I remember that being the case for Steven as well.
I found something. I don't know what that is yet, but it could be a get out of jail free card. We'll find this next time.
Next time.
Next time.
When Toss Ashore returns for episode 4, Gunboat Diplomacy. So,
Till then.
Ira, gunboat diplomacy.